Hello there. Hello there. I'm on. Am I on? How are you doing? Only One Kenobi here, only one. Do you like that intro? I just thought I'd do that to build things up. Wow, we've got 42 people watching this from what I can see already. Good evening. And Bill Palk. Let's have a look at your comment here. Yes, man. Space Mountain music is magic. Indeed. Good to see you, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't done a live stream for 6 months. I hope you can all hear me, by the way. Do give me a sign, ladies and gentlemen. But what is this? Yeah, man. I know, man. I need to get something sorted with that. Haven't done a live stream for 6 months, but we're back with a bang. I've got 3 guests joining me. Lots to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary this year. Going to talk about that. Also, the Clone Wars 20th. I like to think it's, there should be more of a focus, I think, and we'll talk about this later, on the Genndy Tartakovsky. And I have got 3 guests. We've got Buffy's Cave, Ian Bowden, the man, the myth, the legend that is. We've got the Blacked Out Ewoks and Solo Shot first, Mike, my good mate. And we're going to talk about a few other things as well. I'm going to show you some high-res images that have been sent to me via John Miko. I said, hey, John Miko, king of TVC. He sent me some high-res images of the latest things that have been revealed last week. Anyway, let's bring on these folk who are going to join me. Please welcome Solo Shot first. It's my mate Mike, and if you listen to his voice now, you'll hear him talking just like that. Speak, Mark. Let the public hear.
How are you doing, Nick?
See what I mean? It's like we're brothers or something. Mike, how are you? That's what I'm talking about. How are you doing, Mike?
Yeah, very good. Just looking at Daniel's comment saying, waiting for me to do my makeup.
Oh, well, if we've got a moderator, if we've got Daniel Chart in the chat, where are the moderators? We're going to be on eggshells for the whole live stream. I'll read out some of the names. We've got fellow figure collectors in the chat. James, man, welcome. What a legend he is, man. You got to get your channel up and running, James, man, as it used to be. And also, we've got the action figure grader. Welcome, John, to the stream. This is the Weekway, Stuart Holt, David Stevens. Loads of people here. Chief Chirper, Justin Welsh, Des T, TVC Machen, Travels with Jason F. Oh, wow, man. I'm sure you would have appreciated that Space Mountain intro if you heard that, Jason. And then we got C3PO Concepts, what a legend he is. We got Shabby, Mark Shabby, Delvian, Seek, and Destroy. Daniel Chart, here he is. I love it. I love it. Anyway, let's bring on some more punters. We've got the Star Wars Roo there as well. Tor DeLorean, Chief Chirper. Have I said Chief Chirper? I can't remember now. Getting lost in the list. David Stevens. Oh, yeah. Welcome. This fella is in the giveaway later. That's a name I remember. Moving on. Let's bring on the BOE, the Blacked Out Ewoks.
Hi. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining us, man.
I'm always happy to be on, especially when we've got such a great guest coming in a minute.
Oh, yeah, man. And you guys go back way further than my channel. And
yeah, a long time.
Yeah. So, that reminds me, there has been an event today, Echo Base. So if anyone's got any news or gossip from that event, then let us know in the comments. And, we'll talk about that as well. I couldn't go myself, but, oh, well, would have ended up spending a fortune if I did.
Yeah.
And then, go on, sorry. Go on.
I almost spent a fortune last night. Fortunately, I lost what I was bidding on eBay, so I'm quite relieved.
Well, do you want to spill the beans now and tell us what that was?
Ewok figure, it was graded. It was on card. I'm sure Action Figure Grader was tracking it. It was the Duloc Scout, and it went for 300. I put a bid for 330 or something like that, and it went for about 340. So great relieved. So
serious money. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sometimes you do stuff like that. You like see something and think, oh, I really want it, and then then you sort of think, what am I doing? And it's see Action Figure Grade just saying that Duloc was hot, and but then I was quite relieved because with the way things are with the economy and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been in the process of selling a lot of the vintage 80s stuff I acquired. The only my aim is to get rid of everything except what we traded, which was the Gamo. I can't get rid of that.
And
I've sold the other one, by the way, now. You know, the Hong Kong one, the yellowing one, that's gone.
What, the yellowing Gamo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made a little bit of money on that. And then I was a bit nervous when I sold that, though, man, because after the fiasco of the other.
Yeah.
So, but it got delivered. It got there safely. I put loads of stuff in the bubble.
Great.
For those people who don't know what I'm talking about, there, I sold a vintage 80s item recently that I sent it special delivery. I think people might know about this. Actually, I talked about it on the Universal review. But yeah, it bust out of the bubble. You know, God knows
terrible.
what Royal Mail were doing with it, man. Anyway. So, should I bring on our final guest?
Yep, the legend.
Yeah, man. He is a he's a fan of
triumvirate.
He's a big Star Wars fan, well into his Doctor Who, but he's most famous for being one of the few people who tribute and collect Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff. And that is Ian Bowden from Buffy's Cave. Hello!
Hooray! He's having a read of his mag.
Oh, hello! Was it hello there?
I was going to say,
hi.
Man. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Stop doing, I do the impression. I'll do the impressions of blacked out Ewoks if you don't.
Hello there.
Hi.
He's going to be stealing the show. Stop, Ian. Stop. It's my show. How are you, Ian, man? How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you guys? You all right?
Yep, good.
All good.
Glad to finally have you on. I couldn't have you on without blacked out Ewok.
I'd say it's an honour. It's an honour to you.
Thanks. Great for us to meet up finally.
So where do you stand, Ian, with regards, obviously, you know, with the three? I mean, you love them all, and we'll get into this a bit later. We'll just start to get to know you a bit. Like, where do you rank with Star Wars and Buffy, and then with Doctor Who? And I know you're a big fan of things like Batman and loads of classic stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's difficult. I'd say Buffy top because my favourite character is Buffy. I just love the show, love the memorabilia and everything. So I'd say Buffy's number one, but Star Wars was the first I loved because of the 3 films: A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi. And it started off from there when I was really little. So it's tough, isn't it? But Star Wars are films, and Buffy's a TV show, but he does have a film with it. But I'd say Buffy would be number one.
To be honest, we'll get into this, Ian. We'll get into this because you know you are open-minded when it comes to the sequel trilogy. But let's just establish everybody first and foremost. This guy loves, with a passion, the original trilogy. But that's great. But we'll talk about that because that's been a previous anniversary. What was it now? 5 years since the Last Jedi. And I haven't really discussed that with anybody really live since that happened, that milestone. But we'll maybe discuss that later with Tender Hooks or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, here we are. Have I just killed the conversation? I need to figure out where we start from here.
No, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Shabby's never seen any Buffy episodes. So.
Yeah. Are you still with us, Mike? It's very hard to know if you're still alive.
Yeah. Yep, still here.
Yeah.
Just listening.
Good. Just blink twice, Mike, if you know. Yeah. So, we got some. He doesn't like the sound of that. Just stay with us, Daniel. Don't worry about it. Right. So anyway, let's kick this off. I was sent some high-res images. Fellas, are you familiar with the reveals? Before I get them up, any particular thoughts about the recent Hasbro Pulse live stream? What floated your boat? What did you think was a waste of time or whatever? Maybe Mike.
I saw your video earlier, so I'd say Captain Piet was brilliant.
Yeah,
that's a good one,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the Han Solo.
Okay.
Han, because he's got a more stocky build, you know, sort of, which is more in line with Harrison Ford being quite a muscular geezer. So
I'll
yeah.
just jump in on that BOE because the guy who shared me these images, John Miko, he has a little bit of a problem with the hand. He's not that impressed.
Yeah.
I like the body. Yes, I agree. Good to see a bit more stocky, right? All the other figures are so skinny. But yeah, the face was. I think Tim nailed it. Tim Bosk's Bounty when he said it was like Corey Feldman, man. It was, wasn't it?
I mean, I guess once you get it in hand and you'll see, and maybe that's just a prototype face. So maybe they'll.
I hope so.
Improve it a little bit. So you know.
Yeah, I hope so. And I also hope that when they do get round to making a New Hope one, it will be absolutely mastered.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really
it
hope
has
so.
to be. It has to be.
Well,
I mean, you
go
think
on.
the best Han really is the 2004 VOTC Han, really, and then that's such an old figure now, coming up for 20 years almost. So you know,
it's had a long life. It's done very well to hold on to that on that pedestal. But somebody was actually talking about that, and I can't remember who. They were saying how it's a little bit overrated. Maybe there's other ones that they've made since that are better.
I think there's been there's been a couple, isn't there? Like
You are alive, mate.
Well, like you know, like the oh god, the pack that with the Tauntaun one, the Search for Luke Skywalker pack. Obviously, when he's in the Hoth gear, that's a really great figure. But I mean, in terms of his natural look as he is in the original film, as BOE said, I mean, personally, that's still probably my favourite figure, believe it or not, as mad as it is. I know the legs are a little bit skinny and everything else, and the images. I don't know if you're going to put up any images.
I'm going to put in right now. Actually, the hand solo.
But like you said, and in some shots it looked good, in some it didn't. Obviously, they said it was going to be the new. It's from the body up, isn't it? Is an all new mold essentially. The card back image is quite nice. I was trying to think actually where that card image is, because it's not from outside the bunker, because obviously you've got that white background behind it, so it must be inside the bunker.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. Also, obviously, was on the right.
It's inside the bunker.
Yeah. So the figure looks good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but I'd love to know what the bottom part of that sculpt is. I mean, the one thing I did like about the images that they did show was the fact that they've sort of, at least, and I know this is really minor and it's very petty, but it's a massive issue for myself, is they did actually have that holster sort of more attached to his leg. In the other previous ones that we've had of the Endor Han releases, whatever, you've had this holster that's sort of flapping away on the side. So that was a positive.
Yeah, that is a positive. Yeah, I agree on that.
But as BOE said, you've got to hope that they do nail it. And for the original, I don't know whether you want to class it as a New Hope. I know some people don't like saying that, but Star Wars, when they give it that one eventually. But
one quick thought, Mike, sorry to cut in on you on this card back. I've only just noticed this now because it's high res image and whatever, but that image there, the color, the grain on it, the tone of it really reminds me of that Princess Leia Sandstorm card back. I mean, God, if you put those two together, they would be absolutely pinging on the wall. If that makes sense to anybody, you know what I mean? Same tone, that kind of beigey brown, whatever thing. You know what I mean? Wow, I just noticed that now.
I mean, it does look good within the bubble. Some of the images that they showed looked a little bit, like you said, as BOE said, though, until you get it in hand or whatever, that looked a bit weird. I think that one, to be honest,
it does.
It looked very chunky on the top half. So it'd be interesting to know what the bottom half in terms of the actual legs or whatever that they've used. And I think, again, I don't know whether this has been actually mentioned or not. Has this got that sort of I always say butterfly hinge in the hips or whatever, but do you know what I mean? Has it got that new?
That's quite a good angle.
Ball joint. That looks good.
One thing I
That-
didn't mention in my video was the fact that he's got this ab crunch. I didn't really notice it because the jacket kind of, covers it a bit more than, say, I don't know,
Not
the
keen
Lexington
on that.
Lobot or whatever.
Personally, I still don't think they necessarily needed to do that. It looks a bit weird. I mean, obviously, it does enable you to get the figure in different poses or whatever, but yeah. Again, it's all personal opinions, isn't it?
Maybe, I mean, could one argue that they're just refining it and they're working their way to the definitive, and this is one of the steps? And
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, the process.
I'm not sure they think that way, Nick.
I mean, if they're going to do it right, they'd just do it, wouldn't they? Or would they? I don't know. I mean, if they've got a prototype, they would tweak a prototype until that is right before they go to mass market or whatever, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're working eventually towards a New Hope Han. So
Yeah. Oh, I
just-
hope that's spectacular, man. I mean,
yeah,
isn't it funny that they're just? We've talked about this so many times, but let's once again say that the big three are missing. Madness in it, mad. And she goes. In fact, all three of them haven't been done since 2004, except for Death Star Escape Luke. One could argue that's kind of like a farm boy, but it's ridiculous, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Madness.
We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely going to get it because it's Han, and the card back does look great, as Action Figure Grader says. So, yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
fine.
absolutely. And the only other thing, and again, it's only minor, but again, you'd have thought, why not have the jacket in there? The Endor sort of coat. It's so minor, I know, but there was a lot on the reveals that, and again, we'll go through it, but.
Well, what else floated your boat, Mike? We'll get that on next.
Well, no, but it's funny, Nick. I was actually probably as a collector of like the 3.75 line, predominantly. I mean, I have the odd 6-inch. I was a bit. There was some really good stuff in there. I thought was good, but there was other stuff there that I just thought actually I'm going to pass on that, and that is so unlike me.
Right. Well,
I just thought, wow, yeah, not sure.
I did say that about the new Skittle figures, as Star Wars Santa calls them, that Skittles, the prototype ones.
Yeah,
but I mean, I did have another look at that prototype Mandalorian, and I might, oh my god, how embarrassing if I go back on my word on that and get a set of 6 of them.
I mean, that again, those have never really interested me. I think I picked up. I can't remember which ones it was, because everything's in boxes. I think I picked up some of the first ones or whatever it was. I don't know which was the first figure. And I didn't get the Vaders. Whatever the first figure was, I think I got. And then I was just like, nah, these just don't do anything for me whatsoever.
Well,
that looks great.
Yeah, this does look great. I mean, the car back is just, fantastic.
Sensational, yeah.
Great looking card back, but I think as lots of other people have mentioned, and now I sound like I'm just moaning about everything here. But the head sculpt they've used obviously very much looks more like
Anakin, yeah.
Anakin, like
Hayden, yeah.
But I actually will. If you look at the history of the vintage collection, and when you got figures like 3PO in VC, what was he now? 06 or something, was he? Or whatever he was. He was made to be, I think, had elements of prequels in him. You could take his armor off, his plates, and you could see what he was in Phantom Menace. And, other figures as well have had elements that go beyond the film that they're on for the card. Like, for example, Anakin. Anakin has a little training helmet, which goes beyond almost the Phantom Menace timeline to the lead and on to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And then this is, the figure inside could be used to touch base with Kenobi. But then again, if they wanted to do a Vader with an Anakin head, they could have put it on a Kenobi card, as opposed to this should have really been Sebastian Shaw. So I'm seeing both sides of the.
I mean, it's a
coin.
It's a great looking card back, isn't it?
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. And the actual images that they show with the Vader will probably be. It very much looks like the last one that we got, other than the removable helmet. I mean, I only have the original VC08 Vader loose, which was the one that they were talking about, where they sort of had I wouldn't say wax, but you know, they were using more of that sort of style model for the helmet, and there was a lot of issues, wasn't it, where it sort of was. It didn't fit. It didn't fit if you wanted to take it off. Things fell off or whatever. However, I don't know what the repack one is like with the VCO8. You know, in terms of is that slightly better quality in terms of how it sort of fits together as opposed to this one.
So, well, see, Gary Moore there, you're absolutely right. The face should match the card back. And there's me earlier diving into the reasons why they might have done it. And it's obvious why they've done it. And that's what Daniel's just said. You know, they're obviously, you know, sculpting or they got the right, you know, they've done a head for.
And Daniel's made a really good point there, because that was one of the other things. And I know I'm probably driving a little bit off tangent, but when they mentioned that 2-pack with that, you know, Kenobi and Vader, I can imagine them probably putting that out in a similar sort of, I wouldn't say so much scene, but, you know, like releasing it, not necessarily as a 2-pack that you would get just in carded bubbles, but I think they may, I may be well wrong here, they may release it, you know, like they released that 3-pack recently of from The Mandalorian with the soft goods and the Dark Trooper.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was like 90 quid, and I can imagine them probably putting those two in a pack together that costs you 70 quid, and the only difference you're going to get is possibly a damaged Vader helmet. Again, I might be being very cynical, but there were lots on this last reveals that I was like, So
yeah. Oh, let's just have another look at that one. There's the
cool.
Quite silvery, isn't it? I just remember when I was a kid, you saw all these little red and whatever wires and smoke and stuff. It was just horrible, wasn't it? It's like, what? Yeah. Great stuff. Anyway, cheers, goodbye, Vader. We'll get something else on.
Never I'll turn to the dark
so,
side.
Ian, tell us a bit while we're waiting. Tell us a bit about your TVC collecting. How far do you go with that?
Me, I don't buy it anymore. I don't buy TVC anymore. I do have some stored away, but because I bought a load at some point, but I just don't buy them now. But I love other people's collections of it, like yours, for example. But I don't buy those anymore. But I do have some.
And you've got some things you're going to show us later, because you've got a really good Star Wars collection. So we look forward to seeing that later.
Yeah.
Also, fellas,
I haven't got much out, but I've got a bit. So
just a very
I'll
quick
give you a teaser.
Oh, hang on. I can't even see the screen. Hang on. What's this? Yeah, let's go. Hang on. How do we make him? 1 second, my friend. Solo layer. Yeah, classic. Didn't you get that for £5? Well, tell us the story about that.
£5.
£5 for that.
That's the bargain.
Yeah. I bought it when I was about 10 or 11 at a toy fair at my old school. And I was little, 10, 11-year-old, and I was looking at it. It said 15 down to 10.
Yeah.
I really wanted it. And I said, I put about £5. And he said, you can have it for £5. I was like, wow. So I was walking out, and a guy was coming in and said, I wanted that. So, okay, so £5.
Great.
That's awesome.
Can't beat that, can you? Yeah.
Ian, and your recent bargain. Tell us a bit about that. I mean, I did share your video.
I saw it.
If you haven't subscribed to Ian, do so, and also check out his video when he got a haul of. Tell us about it, Ian. It's unbelievable. What did you get?
Stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they're watching. My friends that I saw earlier, best mate. Hi, if you're watching. We went in town.
They're commenting.
Sorry. Yeah, we went in town last weekend, and we just walked around shops, and then went in a few charity shops, and then saw Kenner. I was like, what? Kenner in charity shops.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So, yeah, and we saw those.
Sorry.
And it's like, how much are they? £15. You might have them for 10. I said, I'll pay £15. I knew what they were. And in the video, I put it all out. 14 figures in there. Kenner, and they're all good condition.
Great.
Bargain.
Yeah, total bargain.
And in
Crazy.
there was Boba Fett, an R5D4, an RX7, right? And what else
Yeah.
was in there?
An FX7 actually was in another charity shop for 30 quid on its own. That was in that bag.
God.
There was Nikto, there was Darth Vader, there was Chewbacca, there was R2D2, Snow Trooper, Scout Trooper. I can't remember the others, but the R5D4 was absolutely mint condition. So that was the best one of the lot.
Great.
So
And that's
it's incredible.
What was your valuing hat say on that bag, BOE?
I
What did you value?
would have said about 120, 130 quid, maybe. I guess.
Pushing it, but yeah, maybe. I mean, the R2 was the R2 the sensor scope or the solid?
Yeah.
Dome? Was it the solid dome or
Sensor scope? So it's the
still,
cheaper one.
It all depends on the
Sensor
condition
scope.
of the sticker. R5 is quite very desirable.
Pretty mint, pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, those two are very desirable. So
yeah.
You've made your
I
money.
think
With
those are
two,
the two best of the bunch.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
what's nice, it's good to see this fella here, Babbling Booby. Hello, man. Welcome. It's good that Ian. Obviously, she offered them for £10, and it's very good of you to knocked it back up to.
Oh no, I wouldn't have done that. No, I was happy to pay more than 15 quid, to be honest. I knew what they were, so
if you check the R5 underneath and look at what year is on the back at the bottom on the barrel, there's two versions. There's one 1978. There's one 1977. So you can.
I'll have to have a look.
Yeah. Let me know.
I'm not worried, but
that's an amazing find. Well done.
Yeah.
I've never seen a vintage. I've seen some Power of the Force 2 card in a charity shop. I've never seen vintage 80s in a charity shop.
If it weren't for my friend, I would never seen it. Would never gone in there. So
wow,
great. Oh, hi, Stu.
Yes, hello, Stuart. There, very good. That's awesome. Right, so
yeah.
Well, not much else to talk about. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about this Starkiller business here. Let me just get him up because this annoyed me a little bit about the reveals. I felt that they should have put this guy on the new. Yeah. And then if you Brett on Fett is in the chat actually. Brett on Fett mocked up a card back to represent what it could have been. Just getting used to these controls again, but bear with me. How the hell do I? Oh yes, there it is. There you go. Well, there he is. It's a great figure. So that's a good reissue for people who want that loose. And do you remember BOE? I think you might have got it as well. I bought a Starkiller from the Black Series. Yeah, £4 in Tesco.
That.
£4.
Tesco's,
unbelievable. I got two for £4.
But I don't have it on the vintage collection card, so it's something I want.
Oh, that's great. Well, and do you know what? For people like yourself who wanted that expanded universe card, that's great.
Yeah.
What irks me is that there are two characters in particular that need to be put on an expanded universe card because they could have and should have been in that sector anyway. Darth Plagueis the Wise and Mara Jade.
Yeah,
I think
those
they
two.
just totally missed the boat. They should have, and probably were supposed to be. With these guys.
VC cards, yeah.
And I know for a fact, unless I'm wrong on this, that they will never put them out on an expanded universe card because Disney will probably say no because that's done with, isn't it? It's Legends now or whatever. And so it's crazy that they're going to, obviously they've got a license to do that or whatever because it's a reissue of an existing product, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm talking absolute crap here but they would never bring out any other characters on expanded universe, would they?
No, they wouldn't, Nick. But then again, look, they've got the figure, they've got the card back. It's a cheaper option probably for them, isn't it?
But I mean, with the Mara Jade and the Plagueis, they could put it on a Legends card.
Oh, I don't want to say. I've seen that when they brought back. We're going to bring back the vintage collection. They had Afra on a Legends card. I thought that logo looked crap compared to this. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I haven't seen it, so yeah.
Yeah, it was ages ago. It was like a Hasbro thing, and you saw the first Rey card as well. The Rey card was going to be on like this font. Hang on, the Empire Strikes Back
thick.
chunky text one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going back to 2018 here or whenever it was. It was ages ago. Anyway. Yeah. Oh well, so that's not going to happen then. But that's just one gripe I had. And then what else have we got? Just bear with me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Admiral Piet.
sugar. Admiral Piet. Oh yeah, let's get him on.
He looks good.
Yeah, that's the best one. I think there's only one that had been made originally, wasn't there? In Power of the Force line, as far as I know.
Yeah, that was
that was a good one.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
no, I didn't think that looked anything like him though. The actor who played him, that Power of the Force 2 one. I use him as a generic officer
Ken
now.
Colley.
Who's stood in the back.
Ken Colley, yeah.
Yeah, he looks
Ken
terrible. Anyway, let's get him on. Here he is. It's nice to have these high res images and the card back as well. Oh, this is a good card back as well.
Red background.
Forever to do this. There we go.
Yeah, great.
And the face ain't bad. Because, like, you know, people like Admiral Ozzel, they've got like a feature, haven't they? Like a mustache or whatever. But this guy's, it's
That's a beautiful car back. Beautiful.
And the greenish grey uniform looks quite nice. The colour.
The olive, navy. So, what's the story, BOE, with this? I never knew about these pips.
I guess on Return of the Jedi, they had whatever they used in the film, and then probably subsequently with West End Games developing all the sort of lore on insignia and all that sort of stuff, that it transpires that he's not an admiral, that badge isn't an admiral, so he's wearing the wrong badge, really.
So in Empire Strikes Back, between scenes, I thought he went up in rank, that he suddenly had the admiral one, the same as Admiral Piet. So, and then they were suggesting he got demoted in Return of the Jedi. Is that what she was saying? Because I never even noticed his pips in Return of the Jedi.
No one does, really. I mean, I guess it's like if you're really into the sort of cosplaying and that sort of stuff, dressing up as an Imperial officer, you get to learn about all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'll have a closer look when I watch it next. Empire Strikes
Back. I mean, I'm not really bothered, really, but you know, some people are. So yeah,
I think well, Daniel Chart had a good idea about this. He said that they could have had a removable insignia. So you could have had
both. You could have had both. You could have had both. I mean, they did that with a Luke once, didn't they? A Luke Jedi. They had a way of removing a panel, so you could have it like with the flap down or the flap closed.
So like that's good, isn't it?
You know, they certainly could have done that with a little removable plug for the insignia. The face sculpt is amazing.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's well good, isn't it? It's way better than that Power of the Force 2. It's just they've got the eyes right, haven't they? I do like Admiral Piet.
Yeah, I mean, mainly because he's a bit of a survivor.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like George Lucas himself said that, you know, the humor was that you fully expected, in his words, he said, him to get wiped
Doesn't
out.
get killed off by Vader.
Yeah.
Just walks past him, doesn't he? Brilliant. Yeah.
Nice card. Yeah. Great image used as well.
See if I can see say again, man.
Great image on the card as well.
Oh yeah. Intensify forward firepower. I don't want anything to get through.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Intensify forward firepower. Too late. Brilliant.
And a car crashes through the front of the Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Oh, there he is again.
It's a great looking figure, and what it also does do is with that sculpt, it just enables you to give you more of them Imperial officers down the line, doesn't it? Which is
good. And just look at that detail of this. Sorry, Mike, the cylinder as well. Look at that. That's well good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Small scales. Wow.
Oh,
sharp.
You could imagine them using that sculpt and obviously doing some slightly different head. Yes, you'd need different head sculpts, but it could lead to something like the that Death Star briefing room repack, but also like in the vintage collection.
Yeah, could do. Yeah. So what's the name of that girl again who was the Imperial in the ISB, sorry, Imperial Security Bureau? I couldn't think of her name.
Andor.
She was
the
great.
blonde girl.
Not Ezra, something like that. Dedra Miro, is that right? Someone will say in the comments.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of her name the other day. In fact, I think I was trying to remember the name and
It's not
edited it out
Deirdre
of my video.
Barlow, is it?
Deirdre,
Was it
what? Deirdre
Deirdre
Rashid.
Barlow.
Who do you
Deirdre
think I look
Barlow.
at? Deirdre Rashid. Yeah. It's the League of Gentlemen. Yeah. Dedra Miro. There's David Stevens there. Radio Stevens. Should have him on a stream. He's got a great voice. Hi, Nick. It's David Stevens here. Yeah.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, Shaken Stevens. Bring it on. Dedra Miro. Oh, I've got two people spelling Miro different. Got Mero. Who's right? Stevens or Brett on Fet? Brett McLeod. Right.
I prefer Deirdre Barlow.
Yeah, do you really? What I'll do now is I'm gonna just very quickly have a look for that. I can't believe I'm gonna get this up because I'm not gonna get it. But the new Mandalorian, I did have another look at the card. The Mandalorian what's it called now? Hang on.
Proto.
Yeah. I just want to see if I really want to get these or not. Oh, I've got the space, man.
I just buy one. I just get one.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I was thinking about keeping all the red-headed ones because I've got just one red-headed Vader. And so I thought if I get rid of all the others, I'll just have that'll
They'll
be
match.
But I'd have to get all 6 to guarantee getting them because you don't know what you're going to get every time you get these.
Unless you go in the shop, unless you go in a store.
Well, I've never seen these swinging on pegs. Have you?
Now and again.
Have you really? I've not been in enough Forbidden Planets, I guess. But anyway, there's the one I want, I suppose. I do like the artwork. It's just really it's shelf space, and the fact that it's an insult to think that we've got so many other things we need doing. And I know these are easy for them to do, just using the same mold and whatever. But I don't know, man.
And they should have used the other Mando figure, the Beskar one.
Oh right, I like that
better sculpt.
Kenna blue there for the blasters. Nice, I guess. But I heard from a few people who are well into the retro collection. Oh yeah, what's he said here? Yeah, so looking at Daniel chart. 0 interest there from Babbling Booby. Yeah, I feel like I mean, there was such hype about Vader though because he rocketed in value, and then I don't know if the value of the others have gone up really. It's probably more.
Stormtrooper's a bit tough. The
Is it?
cheapest you can find him is 30 because I need to get that
right.
one. So
Have you got any preference in color variety?
not really. I like orange. I like
variation.
Orange body.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Does anyone want to see anything at all in the chat? Because there's a lot of different things. I won't be pulling up. Sadly, I won't be putting any of the Black Series stuff up. I mean,
apart from that biker scout helmet, that looked great.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And you do collective. You do like helmet from time to time.
Oh, pardon.
A helmet to wear on your head. I do mean.
That's even worse.
The biker scout helmet looks great though.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm looking at a list here. You can't see what I'm looking at here. Where is it? Black Series Scout Shoe. Yeah, here we go. Election. Yeah. All right. The first image is the packaging. Just bear with me. I'll bring it on. Yes. Yeah. But there'll be people out there who are well annoyed by this who don't collect helmets and were expecting something from for I don't know, a vehicle or something like that. I don't know. But I'm glad it's something new anyway, not just another repainted whatever.
Stormtrooper helmet, yeah.
Or pilot helmet. I mean, they gave you Wedge not long ago, and that was a bit annoying because I think Biggs is more iconic, isn't he? That's a lovely. If they brought out a Biggs, I'd be tempted on that, but not really Wedge, that plain green. But yeah, this is nice, isn't it?
That looks great.
They look good in Detolf as well, man. If anyone's been to IKEA, or is it Detolf, whatever you want to say. But let's go back to that one. Right? There you go. But I know we've got Biker Scout 74 in the chat. You'll be interested in this.
Yeah. It looks like that side there is like a panel. You can open it. It's probably the voice thing. Yeah. It
looked good when that guy Chris put it on his head as well in the
I hope it's got more space than the Stormtrooper helmet. That my nose just gets squashed in that.
Well, have you got one of them? Have you?
Yeah, I got a
Obviously.
stormtrooper. Yeah, I've always
The
wanted a
Black Series.
stormtrooper helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, it does
Got-
get your nose, doesn't it? It's designed to sit on your nose, though, isn't it? Bit annoying. And there
Well,
you
when your
go.
nose is big,
Yeah.
that
But I'm
looks
glad
great.
you don't see anyone putting the visor apart from that guy with the beard in the background, because the faceless warriors, aren't they? Stormtroopers. When they take the helmet off you, they just lose everything of their mystique.
But they are great display pieces, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll be getting that.
That looks great.
I can't wait for the
I
day
think
they.
the 40th anniversary, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Um,
Just a great helmet. The
can't wait to
design
they
is so
Yeah.
good.
ATST driver, that'll be a good AT driver. Sorry, that'll be a good
Oh,
helmet.
that'd be amazing.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a great helmet.
Yes, there's a
Oh, that's
question.
one of the I had a bag. That's that driver.
Say that again, Ian.
That was one of the other figures in that bag. That's that driver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That's a good figure.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them now.
Really sorry. I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the chat of the stream, but I will be, or did I? I can't remember. We will be revealing the winners of the giveaway later on in the stream.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome. I can't wait to do that. We've got the that duck race. We're not going to be doing that spinning wheel. We're going to be doing the duck race, man. I've seen that on a couple of people's channels.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome. And that is about it, really. That was of interest. But bear with me. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. And that is it. So we've got 84 people watching this. How are we doing? This is all great. Fantastic. And how are we doing for oh yeah, I don't know. How many likes have we got on the video? Smash that like button if you haven't already. That would be great. If you are in this live stream, that'd be awesome if you could do that. Thank you very much. As everyone always says, but it does help, doesn't it? Not? Yes, it does. I don't know. I don't know about the analytics and bloody algorithms. Are you still with us, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll say something. It's hard to know if you're with us or not.
No, still with you. I mean, that helmet that looks absolutely fantastic. And when Chris put it on, it did look really, really good. If you know, people that haven't watched that live stream or whatever, it did look really good. Yeah, I mean that was impressive, got to say. I'm
glad he kept it on as well, because I thought he was going to take it off and it was looking so good. There was one more thing I'm going to just pull up actually. It was looking so good. I'm glad he kept it on. He was rocking that helmet. The last thing I'm just going to put up is this, which I wasn't sure if they have nailed this yet or not.
Oh, that's the new mold, yeah.
I mean, Tim will be pleased. Tim Boss will be pleased with the chunkiness is back with this guy. But I can't tell if let's go and have a look at some more images. It looks all right here, maybe in proportion, maybe. I just thought it still looked very big, especially when she had it in her hand. I think it was Emily holding it. That looks all right.
It looks decent.
Again, it was a little bit strange that they've put that one on an Andor card, because it's a blink and you miss it moment in Andor when they're in there.
It's new media, Mike. Please don't get angry for me for saying that.
Yeah, don't get me started.
You don't like that, do you, Mike?
But yeah, well, whatever.
Explain why you don't like that.
No, I'm not going to explain. But the other releases that they did with sorry, I know I might be jumping here a little bit, Nick, when they did the
Daniel Chad,
that 212th reveal again of that 4-pack.
Oh yeah,
of the slightly the phase 2 mold.
Yeah, that
looks good. I think.
Yeah, we'll pull that up as well.
I have no problem with that sculpt at all. I think that looks good. People are always going to. You're always going to get people being a little bit subjective, aren't you? In terms of, is the helmet slightly oversized? Is it not? God, you're not going to please everybody, but ultimately, it's the body that it needed thickening out on these figures. Yeah, not necessarily the head sculpt or the actual. The actual helmet itself. So that looks really well proportioned from the images that we can see. And me personally, with regards to then jumping a little bit to the 4-pack or whatever that they did to reveal, I thought that for the 212th, I thought that was really, really nice. Other than if you're an army builder and you're doing that, you know, this is the figure that you're going to want to collect if you're an army builder. Okay, and so this figure should probably have been in an army builder pack. Yeah, people are going to want that 212 figure, but because they included Waxer in it, which obviously is they're classing as the general on that one, you know, you can't really army build that pack, that 4-pack, because you're going to get loads of the same figure. So
People have been talking about that visor as well, Mike. That's not right yet as well. It's not wide enough or something. Because look at it; it doesn't match, does it?
Again, Nick, it's so it's like BOE said earlier, and until you sort of get that in hand, I think the main issue people have always had with those clones in the past is the legs are just so thick, you know, so skinny or whatever, and the helmets are so oversized just against the size of the body and the legs.
Yeah,
but you know that looks pretty good. That looks good, but
yeah,
that should have been possibly in a 4-pack. I mean, don't get me wrong, they will do it in a 4-pack, of course.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will.
It's a way to open that up. But you know, this 4-pack was really, really good, that army builder pack. But because you do get Waxer in there from the Clone Wars, you don't get Boyle in that. You just get the 3 other grunts. But you can't necessarily army build that pack.
But there is this case still, Mike, over too little, too late, in it. They've brought out so many of these types of phase 2s now, and now they've fixed the. Well, supposedly,
yeah, but I suppose if you're into your clones, you know, and you do like, I know I talk an awful lot about army building. You know, these sort of packs are great, but it's all very well having. You need to differentiate, don't you, with these? If you're going to have one figure that's got, I think the wax figure they've got where you can see there on the helmet there, they've got the little insignia on the top of his head, and
you've got notches as well, like Rex, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but on the back of the helmet there, they showed obviously, and I think on his shoulder plate, they showed like a little insignia of the type of battles he'd been in, where it was like clicks saying how many how many battles he'd been in. So if you're going to buy this pack, you're probably only going to buy one, really, unless you completely flush with money and you're not worried about having a couple of figures with that sort of blue insignia on, which I just felt was, well, not a missed opportunity. That sounds really silly. You know, these guys know what they're doing, but the point.
Do they, Mike? Do they?
Well, listen. As an army builder, no. Listen, Nick. As an army builder, I'm going to buy one of those because I don't want 2-3 waxers if I was going to buy multiple packs.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but again, you can't please everybody. It's not me being.
Oh, this is good. Now I did like. Sorry, I'm talking right over you, but I did like that image. So whoever set that photograph up did a good job there, because they've all got the helmet off and just look at them.
Nick, that 4-pack is absolutely fantastic, but you're probably only going to want to get one of them.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'll probably have to get that. I suppose I've got quite a lot of 212 I've army built over the years, but not too many. You know, the one from the Saga collection, and then I've got a couple of those 5 POA ones which are really good. I always put them at the back of the shelf because they've got smaller helmets them, so it's like forced perspective, makes them look like they're further away at the back. But these guys would be really good to add with the airborne trooper and all them, you know. And of course, get Cody at the front as well. Wow,
I thought that was a good reveal. I generally thought that was a nice reveal, and it's obviously just using that phase 2 sculpt. Just thought, you know, as I said, from the army building perspective, I just thought you can't just keep, you know, you wouldn't buy multiples of that.
Oh, brilliant!
I was just laughing at Biker Scout 70. I'm glad you're here, man. We were showing it off before.
Great helmet.
Yeah, and you're in the giveaway. Awesome. Right. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, great. And let me just see if there's any more images of this. Boom. Yeah, same one. Yeah, they look great. I'm so glad they've nailed that. I'm so paranoid about pronouncing his name, Temora or Tumor. Oh, sod it. I thought it was Temora. Temora. How'd you say it?
Tamora Morrison.
Temora Morrison, isn't it? Temora.
Temora Morrison, that's it.
Temora. Temora. How do you pronounce it? Temora. For God's sake, can you someone say? Oh, I think that we've got. Where is he now? Is he still here?
Who's
Maybe he
that?
can write it phonetically for us.
Timur Morrison.
Kiwi guy, middle-aged Kiwi.
There's a
guy.
few Kiwi. Aussie,
Yeah. Oh my
New
God, you just
Zealanders.
read my mind there, Nick Reddock.
Kiwi
We do
man.
need the Kiwi man to help us say it right. Yeah. Maybe Cura Nick. Maybe he can write it in the comments with a slight phonetic, whatever.
Break it up.
Yeah, break it up indeed. And then yeah, I used to work with a guy who was a Kiwi, and he used to say Lego, Brex, and Chaps.
Those guys love to drink, man.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, the one I knew.
When I lived in London, BOE, I used to know quite a lot of people from South Africa.
Redback.
So they didn't sound quite like that. I don't know why I talk like that.
Go to the Redback down in Acton. The pub
to
down
work.
there.
How's it? They used to say, how's it? Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. How's it? Ciao. They said, see you just now. See you now.
Yeah.
Let's not see you later. See you now. Brilliant.
You get down here. There's a what do you call it? Butchers, South African butchers. They have that meat stuff they like to eat, the jerky stuff, or what's it called? The boar.
No, Boerewors is the sausages type thing, isn't it? And then you
The sort of jerky stuff they eat.
Like at Notting Hill. Oh, wow, what have you got there? Let's go back to Ian.
Who's that?
Go back to Ian Bowden. Ian is on the bottom left of the screen.
And he wants to
What
show.
is this, Ian? Should we get that on full screen? Yeah.
Yeah. Who is it?
Yeah.
It's something from looks like oh god, no, I'm not going to say
Muppets. It looks like something.
So if you can get
Muppets.
I was going to say Sesame Street.
Muppets.
No, it's Angel from
Um,
Buffy. The Angel from
Oh.
Angel. In an episode, he turns into a puppet.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
him.
Cool.
Well, let's talk about
The
that.
episode's called Smile Time.
So, do we have anyone in the chat here who is a Buffy the Vampire? I don't even remember even watching any. I think
I've watched. I've got it on DVD. I've watched it the series twice. So.
It's on Disney Plus, isn't it? Is it worth starting on season 1? And well,
Yeah,
of course
yeah.
You're going to say yes, aren't you?
Yeah,
Ian, of course.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I used to go to
Nope,
university with a
yeah.
guy. My mate Gavin, he was like he loved Sarah Michelle Gellar, and he used to watch Buffy and all that. And I
Yeah.
remember watching Dangerous. What's it called now? Cruel Intentions. I watched with him. That was a good film back in the
Oh
day.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, brilliant.
She's not a nice character in that though, is she? But she's a bitch.
No.
Man. Yeah, she's like a high school bitch. But yeah, but he got me watching that because he was well into her. But I remember seeing maybe a bit of an episode once.
Oh, my
And,
sister's was a big Buffy fan. So I'd watch it if she was watching it. And I mean, I bought her for once a signed picture of David Boreanaz, or Bowen's, the guy who played Angel.
Oriana's. Yeah.
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 They had it. I mean, Forbidden Planets. I bought her one of those. So
I remember an episode here, and I'll tell you, you'll know what it is. There was an episode when a girl was at a canteen or something, and she had to pay for her food, and she just stared at the woman at the till, and then she walked on. But somebody watched her doing it, and then they said, "Oh, by the way, she's a witch. She's a witch."
Widow. That must have been Widow.
Oh yeah. I don't think it was the canteen, but there was a witch called Amy. I think it was in the
Oh.
classroom where she hands over fake invisible homework, and Xander spots her. Did you see that?
Yeah. Someone
Yeah.
watched her doing it, and they're like, "Wow!" And they caught her.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
That's
I
what you're on
remember.
about. Yeah.
And I remember
Yeah.
a vision of her, Sarah Michelle Gellar. She had a thing in her hand, and she had like a leather jacket on, and she was just stood there in an alleyway. And I don't know what she did. I can't remember what happened next. If she stabbed a vampire or what. But anyway, but yeah, well, tell us a bit about your Buffy collecting here. What else can you share with us about it? It's fascinating. You've got an extensive collection in the background there.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know the bit of a history about it? I suppose.
Yeah.
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 Please.
Well, basically, it started when I was a teenager, about 14. A friend of mine got me into it, and he started watching it, and so got to see this show called Buffy, and I started watching it, and I just got hooked. Obviously, I fell in love with Sam Gellar. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
And then I just fell in love with the whole show. And then I didn't have much memorabilia at the time, but I had a bit. And then in my 20s, I didn't buy much. But in the late 20s, I came across eBay and YouTube, and then I started buying memorabilia on there. And obviously, for most of us, it's about the action figures, isn't it, mainly? But I wanted all the figures. And then when you buy on eBay, you see other items on there that crop up, and then it sort of opens more doors for products. And then, I've got a mixture of products in here. So that's a bit about it, really. I've watched the show so many times. I absolutely love it. Means a lot to me, it really does. And I do comic cons as well, so I've met a lot of the cast as well. So yeah, amazing.
What stuff do they have out now? Like, because when you go to Forbidden Planet, you see so many different properties or whatever, don't you? You know what I mean? Like, loads of cult classics. Do they still put out stuff for her? For Buffy?
I don't have a Forbidden Planet near here, but it is very hard to find Buffy memorabilia, even at shows. It is quite scarce, but you do see like comics and trading cards, that sort of thing at shows. But it's quite scarce. You need to be online, really. But I've recently quit my eBay account, so I don't want to be buying anymore for now. So it's quite scarce on Buffy, really. But online, you can get loads.
I think that was the episode from season 2 that hooked me in. Passions.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, this guy, who
brilliant
is this? Is this your mate, Ian, or is this somebody else? Is this someone else?
No, I don't know you.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I just asked if there was any Buffy fans out there. That's great.
Yeah. Shabby's asking, was the bloke from the old Nescafe? Yeah, Giles.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah, he was also in. Do you remember the? You might know this, Ian. I don't know, or Mike. Do you remember the detectives with Jasper Carrot and Robert Powell?
No.
I know the name.
Well, it was just a comedy. It was a situation. Well, not a situation. It was a comedy series, and it was about two coppers who were, a bit inept, really.
Yeah,
they were funny together. Jasper Carrot was one of the coppers, but they did an episode where they were police advisors or technical advisors on the set of a new police crime drama series or something like that, and they were there supposed to be advising, but the guy who was the lead actor who was supposed to be the copper in the show was Giles, whatever the name of the actor.
Anthony Stewart. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. But that was like in his peak, just around about the time he was doing those coffee adverts, he was in that. So, yeah. So I'd share that because anyone's seen that. That's the only thing I've really seen him in other than the coffee adverts and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But
I've not seen it, but he's also in Merlin.
Oh, right.
Merlin.
I've not seen Merlin. He's in that.
Oh, someone said Darth Kenobi just said.
Yeah.
And Merlin, yeah.
Just said that, yeah.
No, I mean, I quite like Buffy. I bought the DVD box set a few years ago, 3 years ago, and watched the whole series. It was good to watch it again. Because I mean, then if you were a teenager, I'd have been about 28 then. So
you're still young. You're still young. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's got a bit of everything in it. It's got comedy.
It's good. And
again. Yeah. Monsters, demons, vampires. Brilliant.
And some characters go from bad to good, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And all that sort of
stuff. Or a bit of both. Like Spike, for example, is good and bad.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Story arcs as well. So it's good stuff. Yeah. And Angel, then it moved into Angel as well.
Oh wow! Look at this. I once knew a bloke who was convinced that show was actually called Buffy. Dean from All Things 80s. Welcome, Dean, with that opening statement. I love that. That's brilliant. It's great to see Dean there. Yeah, I'll get onto it. I did see it was on Disney Plus. You don't have that, Ian, do you? But you've got it all on DVD.
No,
but it might be a good excuse. Do you recommend?
There is a show. There was a show I recently watched, though. Brilliant. Wednesday. Have you seen Wednesday at all?
No.
It's on Netflix. Absolutely brilliant. It's worth watching.
I've only got
with
Disney
Jenna
Plus.
Ortega.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I've not got Netflix.
Brilliant
In
show.
fact, yeah, I wished I had Netflix at times when there's something big on or whatever, but I wouldn't mind watching
Well,
that.
my parents got it, so I watch it there. That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, so is it worth people watching that movie first? Because wasn't that bad you were saying? And also the vampires don't disintegrate, do they? You know, with
I would say
dust,
if you want to watch Buffy, get into it. I would say you start with season 1 and then season 2. If you don't like those two, don't watch anymore. But if you're loving it, then you might want to go back and watch the film, see what that's like.
All right, fine. Yeah.
I love the film, but if the vampires turn to dust, it'd be wow. But they don't. So it's probably a low budget film. They didn't have the money to do it, you know. But it was great. It was a great introduction to Buffy.
Yeah.
But I'd say I recommend season 1 first.
Yeah, there was another episode I remember, as I say, my flatmate Gavin in the first year of uni. This is going back to 1999/2000. And there was an episode where Angel was like almost getting off on someone's absolute terror. Like he did something like somebody had been killed and he was just in the alleyway watching and just like laughing to himself. He was like pure evil. I remember you telling me in a chat we were having on Messenger, you said how he can fluctuate or so what was it about? He's lost his soul or something.
Yeah.
He's got a soul.
Yeah.
What's his story?
True moment of happiness. He loses his soul. True moment of happiness. He loses his soul and then he turns evil. He's the evil vampire without a soul. And then they got to do a spell, witchcraft, powerful spell to bring his soul back again. So, yeah, he can lose his soul just with a true moment of happiness. That's it. He's evil.
Yeah. Right. Well, do you know what? Without wanting to offend our audience, so we're predominantly Star Wars fans here. No, it's good to talk about these things. I mean, I know nothing
definitely.
about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I can appreciate that it might be worth a watch. It's just around about that time in the 90s and late 90s, 2000s. There was a lot of like stuff that was just, I don't know, was it a little bit cheesy? That kind of like, it was that kind of era really of what's it called, that thing with the Stifler's mom and all that whole era?
American Pie.
Kind of like that's like that era. Everything was sort of like of that style, wasn't it? Really. There's a lot of stuff coming out from America, lots of TV series and stuff, and teenage kind of high school themed. And Buffy sort of fits into that category, although it's got that kind of Halloween-y whatever.
The X-Files as well.
But anyway, so Ian, it doesn't stop there. Your fandom, you, as I say, you've got a triangle, whatever you want to call it, a triangle of love. You've got Buffy, Star Wars, and then obviously Doctor Who. But very quickly on Doctor Who, you're not someone who really follows the original classic series. You're more of the modern era, which is where me and BOE might. Oh, hello. What's this?
Sonic Screwdriver. Sonic Screwdriver.
Yeah, we were talking about the classic Doctor Who. I mean, I don't really know Doctor Who except for like the classic Dalek serials, like Genesis of the Daleks, Planet of the Daleks. They're all
saw that.
The remembrance of the Daleks.
I've seen
that's
some,
good,
but not many of the originals.
But there's something about the Daleks are great. If you like the Empire, and that, you know, and then Davros is so like Palpatine got a lot of inspiration, I'd say, from Davros's behavior and his monologues of his megalomania or whatever. You know, I'm sure George Lucas made a few notes on that. I don't know, but it's all good.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm more into the new series from Eccleston onwards.
Well, what's happening with Doctor Who? What's this about? Disney on Disney Plus getting it or something? Was that official or was that just a rumor? You might know about that.
I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on there.
Right. Well, if anyone knows about that, let me know. But I heard someone, I think it was Midnight's Edge or someone was talking about that, or Mr. H Reviews talking about how it's potentially going to be expanded on Disney Plus or something, or Disney are going to buy it out and then have more spin-off kind of things with it. Maybe like the adventures of Sarah Jane and stuff like that. That's interesting. She's a classic character. She's a classic companion, isn't she, Sarah Jane? Anyway, I don't know.
Tom Baker's assistant, I think. Tom Baker's.
Can I ask you a question? Why has Michael just effed off? He's muted himself. He's been gone for about
Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here. I'm listening.
What are you doing, Mike? Why are you even on this thing? You muted yourself.
He's listening.
I'm just listening.
Well, I don't know.
Quality waffle.
Chip in. Anyway, sorry, mate. I thought you'd gone to the toilet or something, or you were having some sort of issue in the back there.
No. I'm no.
I couldn't unmute you. I was trying to unmute you. I thought I'd muted you. I felt bad. And then I tried to unmute you, and then it said, you can't unmute someone who has muted themselves. I was like, he's having the longest piss ever.
Just
in
imagine the
YouTube
perfect
history.
live stream would be doing it in your bathroom, sitting on the car.
Yeah, we've got Dean from All Things 80s in the chat. He knows about capturing his draining the snake live on
starting
stream.
off with having your dinner, and then rabbiting on, and then have a few beers, and then a few hours later,
I think that
plop, fizz.
I think you muted to, and then
no.
Oh, look at that, Luke. There, what's that one
That's
there,
a nice
man? Oh, yeah,
brown haired. Looks like
oh,
a
no,
no-coup.
Well, let's round this up here and let's get onto your Star Wars collecting. Can we see some pieces, man? You've got some
Is
great
that an original one, Ian? That you've got there?
Yeah, he's got loads of classics.
Yeah,
So
that's
stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah.
Check out this guy's Star Wars collection. Let's get
Does
it
that
on.
say does it say Hong Kong on the leg?
Yeah, let's get it back on, Ian. What have you got there?
Does that Luke say Hong Kong on the leg? Or no? It shouldn't do. It should say no. It should be a no coup. But
it's hard to see, actually.
it shouldn't say Hong Kong on it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to read it, actually.
So it's probably a no coup then. Light brown hair.
Not sure.
It's definitely a light brown hair. Nice, very nice.
Was the first one released? BOE was the first one released a really blonde one then? Or
Yeah. Brown hair.
Yeah, blonde stuff.
Can you put that in front of camera, man?
Yeah, try to. This is awkward to get right.
Yeah,
there you
nice. That's a nice figure. Very nice.
Figure cost me £3.
Bargain.
Oh my God. That's all right.
I'll give you £4 for it now.
Darth
Vader, cool. How's the
very
cape on that?
That figure.
Is it?
It's a bit battered, to be honest.
Hang on.
Oh,
put that back on here. There you go.
Yeah. Nice.
It's a bit battered because it's been played with. Very sentimental figure. This.
Is this from your childhood?
Yeah. I went to Toy and Train Fair and I walked in, paid the entry, and then he said, "Oh, you interested in Darth Vader?" Turned around and saw it, and I was like, "Wow, had to have it."
Oh, great!
Brilliant. And then, sorry, just got the camera right there. There we go.
It's only one. I mean, Obi-Wan.
Like a grey, that grey-haired one. That, yeah.
What toy fair did you pick these up from then, Ian?
They used to do Toy and Train Fair at my school when I was there.
Oh, great.
Yes, you had to pay entry to get into my own school. But yeah, they used to do some Toy and Train Fairs at my own school. So that's where I got some of them. And probably at shows I got some. But I used to have a shop in my local town for a couple of years when I was at school. I used to buy some Kenner stuff in there and Power of the Force and Phantom Menace. So those 3 lines are very sentimental to me because I remember collecting them when I was younger. And then as soon as I got a job, I could get some Kenner figures in that shop. He'd gone, so I would have loads of carded Kenner, but I do have some here. Here's one.
Wow, yeah, let's get you on full screen here. This
nice
is
figure.
Oh, now here we go.
That's a Mexican figure.
Because
all Pat Blues are Mexican, made in Mexico. Signed by Kenny Baker, brilliant.
So all Pat Blues are Mexican. So when he waddles up to Wicket, he'll say, "Hola, buenos días. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? amigo?
I got Darth Vader.
Oh, great.
Generator.
Is that Palatoy? Yeah, Palatoy, lovely.
Wow, yeah. Do you know what? That would go nicely with, put that in my Vader row.
Signed with this
Tri logo, beautiful.
Wow.
That is great. Dave Prowse.
Oh, hi, Ryan. Great stuff. You're in the giveaway later. Sorry, Ian. I've just put that name, put that guy.
Wicket.
All right.
Warwick Davis, signed Wicket. Beautiful. Nice.
Just travels with Jason. Double cells. Nice.
Medane, brilliant.
Yeah.
Signed. You might not see it very clearly, but it's signed
Oh, brilliant.
in person.
Oh, great.
I was going to
What
say,
are your
BOE,
thoughts
I
on-
always thought he was General Maydean. Have I got that wrong?
General Medine. Yeah.
General Maydean, yeah, that's right.
Emperor's Royal Guard, ERG, great. What back is that? Is it 77 or 65?
65.
Is it got a blacked out? It's got me on it. Blacked out Ewoks.
Yeah, put you on it.
Yeah. Cool.
I love that.
This one was a bargain.
Let me see. Leia. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that a
42
Canadian?
quid.
Is that a Canadian? How much?
yellow's the bubble?
£2 for the case, 40 quid for the figure.
Is that
Bargain.
signed by Kat?
Well-
You've got, because basically, Ian,
No.
you've got a lot of signatures. Is it signed by her?
No
If,
way.
Can I see the
I
back
do
of that
have her
card?
autograph.
1 second, just to tell a few people, Ian is a massive signature. He been to a lot of events, got loads of signatures with a lot of different people. Just thought I'd just throw that in.
Yeah.
Back to you, Ian. Sorry.
I do have Carrie Fisher's autograph, but I didn't get it in person.
Oh, what was
do
she
have
like
it,
when you
so-
met? What happened? Have you got a story?
No, I didn't meet her. No, I bought it at a show. I didn't meet her.
Got
No.
you. Sorry, my misunderstanding.
Platoon with coin offer.
Oh, they're terrible.
Nice.
Those coin things, aren't they?
It's quite
That's what-
nice to have the coin offer on the platoon. B-wing.
Probably the most common one with the coin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still
Mm.
nice.
That's the most common one.
Yeah, it's still gone up in value quite a bit. Still gone
Yeah.
up quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Oh, hello.
It's a trap.
God, I've really gone off
Signed
this
as
thing,
well.
BOE.
It's,
Nice.
yeah,
Nothing
signed in
but hard,
gold ink. So you might not see it, that is signed there. Can't really see it very
Who's-
well, but it is signed.
eh?
Whose signature is that?
That's Tim Rose.
Oh yeah, Tim Rose. I've got his signature on a trading card.
And
Bib, beautiful. Oh, Michael Carter.
Michael Carter, yeah. So that's all the Kenner one, signed Kenner ones I've got. I also
Great.
bought this as well.
Aman. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Nice.
but the staff was broken too, so it's been glued. But I think it was
Oh.
pre-production. I'm not sure on that if it's genuine or
Oh.
pre-production. So, but
You have to-
awesome pick up that was. So
yeah,
that's about it on the Star Wars. So what I bought in.
still
So
nice.
yeah,
Great stuff.
yeah,
I've
brilliant.
got very few signed figures, carded figures, not much. I think I've got Dave Prowse's. Yeah, that's the only
It's
one
not
I've
everyone's
got.
cup of tea getting
Yeah.
signed stuff, but you collect what you want.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
got signed
Let them
photos.
dabble.
I prefer signed photos and signed trading cards.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair play.
yeah,
Collect
It's a
what makes
way
you
of
happy.
yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah,
It makes your wallet happy.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Might
good
be
thing.
It's all right, fellas. I might do the giveaway shortly, the duck race, just to bring that
That'd
on.
be great
Even
fun,
though,
yeah.
Carry on, yeah.
it's quite funny just to break this up. But also, I just need to check because there was a guy. I've got 31 people who entered, but there was a guy who. Well, what I did was I went onto one of those websites that pulls up all the people who put the comment of hashtag Red5 Designs, READ 5 Designs. But there was one guy. But then I thought I'm just going to check the comment section, scroll through, and see if there's everybody. Missed anybody. And there was one guy who had commented Red 5 Designs, and he was called Scout. And I thought, well, why haven't you come up on the website that sort of finds all the? And it's because he'd spelt it RED, like Red 5, RED, FIVE. So
Luke
I did comment
Skywalker.
earlier and said, say again.
Luke
Yeah, go on.
Skywalker.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're very same. And so I did sort of reach out and say, oh, just very quickly, if you can change your comment, do it.
Has he?
But I'm just going to see if they have or not. But
Duck
I
race.
can't put them in the comment because if they win it, that'll be a bit harsh on everyone who did the right hashtag, isn't it, really? So let's just have a look and see if they have altered it. And then we'll get on with it.
And the prize is the guide for the card backs.
Yeah.
That looks useful.
Also, I'll I'm chucking in an only One Kenobi patch as well. In fact, there's somebody who
Good.
commented and said I'm only in it for the patch.
Yeah.
So we'll do that in a minute. Yeah, they haven't got back, which is a shame. I mean, is that a bit harsh if I cut them out of this?
I got a patch I didn't want.
Oh my god!
It's a bald patch.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were talking about your extra.
It's a patch I don't want.
Oh, very funny. Very funny. Yeah, Duck Race. It's going to be Travels with Jason F. What do you reckon? Is that a bit harsh to cut out this guy, or now? What's the situation?
I think you've reached out for him. You gave him a chance, and
Yeah. Well,
as they say up north, it's hard lines.
it is. I just
Hard lines.
I could put them in, but if they win it, then I've got all those 31 other people who did it correctly. So yeah, well, we'll get it on now. I'm just gonna get the names up now. I'll share the screen.
You're gonna have 30 ducks running across the screen.
And he's probably passed away now. Who's the fellow who used to do the horse race, the commentary there, coming down the right-hand side? I was thinking about maybe doing something like that. Bear with me. Yeah.
Bill Pork says male pattern baldness is rough. Yeah. Actually, it's kind of smooth.
Right.
Anyway,
while I'm just faffing around, please do talk amongst yourselves, fellas. And Mike is muted again, and it's
No, I'm not. I'm just listening.
He's just opening another can, is he?
on the old Fosters.
We'll soon find out if anyway, we'll know.
Sorry, Nick.
Well, we'll wait and see how things sound later. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I was watching Roland's reviews last night, the ZSR stream, and I was drinking a bottle of this Dutch beer. It was 8.5%, and I was kind of tired, so I was like watching them, and like I must have fallen asleep for a good 30 minutes, and then when I woke up, they were talking about me and Action Figure Grader, like that. It was these two Aussies talking about a figure that they might be a prototype, a Star Wars figure. So they were saying show it to Blacked Out Ewoks and Action Figure Grader, and that's when I came to, and I was thinking, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, but at least you woke up at the right time, though, BOE.
Yeah.
So,
that's one tail there. Duck Race. I remember I was doing a live stream with Stu. Like I was asking him the question that he asked all of us on those what is it called? Interview with a collector. And so I haven't done a live stream for a good year and a half, so I didn't know how to. I couldn't even get the sound to play in my ears, so I was like panicking because I was going on in about a minute and I just couldn't do it. So I was like, but then I figured out how to do it, so just in time. But
fair enough.
Yeah. Before I set them off, I will just show you what you're playing for. There were all the names there. This is what you were playing for, and it was on the giveaway. Was on the video with my review of the Red 5 Designs book, and then at the end, I have one of these guidebooks here, which are awesome. What are they? The Star Wars mini guide, identify your Kenner cardback reverses or whatever. Loads of information in here. There's the black. There you are again, the BOE there.
Yeah, Return to like 65 back.
Yeah, so there's plenty. It's a good little.
Show me any back and see if I can guess it.
All right, okay, fine.
See if I can guess straight away. It's 21 back, A or B, I guess.
Well, I should have made that a little harder for you. 21 figures on the reverse is it's a master with a prototype droid. Images of the droid dewback and droid factory playsets. Yeah.
All right, try another one.
I'm going to keep it covered this time.
I think the Empire Strike Back ones are the hardest.
Hang on. Right, hang on. Whoa!
I'd still love to win the book, though. I don't know if I entered.
Let me turn the light on. Hang on.
31 back, A or B. 31 back, A or B. I can't see.
31 MB.
Yeah, 31B.
Yeah. And so the other thing that the winner will receive is not this cap. This is just a patch on a cap, but the only One Kenobi patch. I'll chuck that in as well. There you are. I'll just turn the light off. Anyway, should we do this?
Yeah.
Let's get those ducks rolling. It's quite funny. This I saw this on I've only seen it on one person's channel. Everyone does that wheel thing, but I've only seen the duck race on one other person's channel. Yeah, anyway,
First one to the end. 2 minutes. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the duck race, and off they go. And they are off, ladies and gentlemen. We have Flick there coming. We can see the green duck Flick, followed by Louis in there. The
Biker Scout 74 Flick.
Nige Vader on the inside there. Number one. We can see Vandal, and you can see Ryan Avery, aka Rogue One Flick, falling behind now. Biker Scout 74 level with Louis Drain. I don't know how you pronounce the surname there. Bill Pauk pushing forward, number 11. John Skywalker.
We've got Wizard at the back.
How many commentators do we need on this? It's going to confuse the audience. And we've got Darth Wizzy Wizard, number 2 there, pushing forward. And yeah, hang on a minute.
Night Trader. John
Nick Ramsey
Skywalker.
there, number 15 with the shades and the hat there. Richie Reviews is on the far side. James Clark Artist getting a burst of speed as we pass the 1 minute, coming up to the 1 minute mark there. And Gary Moore, we can just see him bobbing up and down to the back there, but he really is lagging behind. He needs to push forward if he's going to get anywhere in this race. Biker Scout 74 still in the lead there, but pushing forward is James Clark Artist as we hit 50 seconds now. 50 seconds remaining of this race. Darth Wizzy Wizard number 2 pushing into pole position almost. Biker Scout 74 still holding on to the lead. James Clark Artist there. It must be hard doing that job, doing the bloody horse races. Baron Maupertois. It would really help if I knew how to pronounce some of the names. Vandal there. Look at that hairstyle. We have 30 seconds left of this race. Who's it going to be? It's going to go right down to the wire. John Skywalker falling back. Ryan Avery falling back. We've got Richie Review on the far side there, also drifting back. Nick Ramsey is getting pace there before the end. 15 seconds remaining. Look at this. Who's it going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Clicking out loud. Has he got anything left? Oh, there's Flick coming forward now. The green. Is he going to take it at the end? It's interesting. Oh, good God.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to come.
Oh.
How about that? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good God. Is he watching? We've got a few people who are watching who have entered. Bill Pauk. Yeah, Bill. Sorry about that, Bill. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Pauk. And that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the duck rice. Get rid of that now.
Not bad.
Fantastic. So yeah, to claim your prize, Flick, if you comment on this video. No. Get in touch with me. Reach out via Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and then there will be just ever so small verification process to go through. And I will say not what that is yet. It'll be private, that conversation. And then we will get your details, and I will send this out to you. Congratulations.
Great prize.
Wrong way.
Great prize.
So Nick, is that I know obviously we said about this separately on another note. Is that book going to be available again in different guises or not?
Put yourself back on mute, Mike. Let's move on. I'm only joking. Is it going to be? Say that again, Mike. Sorry.
I'm just saying the book obviously was backed, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, but there's
so
now.
Is that going to be available again for other people
Well,
down the line that didn't have an opportunity to not necessarily didn't have an opportunity, but didn't back it first time around or whatever.
Yeah,
just if anybody's watching that didn't, and
yeah, well, I might get in touch with Gianni on that one and Greg. I'll give them a message soon and see how they're getting on with that, because they did have a thing where you could email them, express an interest, and they were going to have maybe a second issue. So I'd like to think they've got a lot of support behind that, and then that could happen. But I don't know what sort of numbers they'd need to hit for that to happen. But
right.
But a lot of people were not aware of it, even people who follow my channel. It's amazing, really. When I did my review, so it was a guy who commented who hadn't seen or heard of it. All it just goes to show, doesn't it? And they were regular with my channel. You know, they've seen loads of my videos, regular commenter, but it just passed them by. Amazing. But anyway. So what else have we got on the list here? So we have talked about Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary, fellas. Let's get our teeth into that. I mean, what we hoping for this year? What do you think we're going to get? And we started the year with a few of those card back reveals. We've done all that. What would you like to see this year? And what could we potentially get? HasLab or whatever else? Who would like to start that one?
I mean, for me, it's like I was 13 at the time when it came out originally. So it's probably the perfect age. And I remember my mom took me and my sister on the first day it came out in London. So I've still got the ticket stub. Obviously, I bought a Return of the Jedi Emperor's Royal Guard there at the cinema on that day. So it's got special significance for that. Plus, it's probably the film I've seen the most at the cinema. Because in those days, you could sit at a cinema twice and they didn't bother kicking you out. So, you know, it's just at age 10, 13, sorry. It was like the perfect age to bring that series to a conclusion. You know, everything ends happily. You know, you've waited from 1980 to 1983 to find out if it was true that Darth Vader really was Luke's father. Because, you know, you always... It's like at age 10, you think, is he just trying to lie to him or something? You just don't believe it. And then, you know, so as soon as the book came out of the story novelization, I just read it straight away. But it you know, because I just wanted to know how the trilogy ended. I was like waiting from 78 till 83, 5 years, you know, and, you know, it's probably at age 13, it's like the last year I was really still into toys a lot. Because by the time I was 14, 15, you know, computer games came out and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, Return of the Jedi has that significance for me because I was there. I remember it well, you know.
There's so much nostalgia to it, though, Billy. I always remember, like, watching, say, for example, Empire Strikes Back, and then I had a friend that was lucky enough to their family holidayed in America, and of course, obviously, back then in the States, they actually got Return of the Jedi probably 2 or 3 months ahead of us. Do you know what I mean? And he was actually out there when that premiered out there in the States, and I was just absolutely gutted. But I wanted to know, obviously, what it was about.
Yeah.
Again, back in those days, we'd heard of Jabba the Hutt. We hadn't seen him. Yeah. You know, he was never in any of the films. So it was there is, but I mean, in terms of what they can give us, there is so much. I mean, I know I've always gone on about HasLab projects or whatever, you know, and I was just looking, down the list. I can't remember who said it here. Yeah,
loads of people have talked about Ewok Village, and I
would love an Ewok Village. I know I've said that, but on a separate note, it also then makes you think about, and I know it's not everybody's bag in any way, shape, or form, but what are Hasbro doing with these HasLab projects? Do you know what I mean? You know, you got to sort of ask.
About the Emperor's Throne Room.
Well, yeah, but I mean, anything, Ian, that they could do like that, you know, it's just like we've been so, other than, and I know Nick's commented on plenty of times, the last, obviously, HasLab project we got was the Razor Crest, which was heavily backed.
Massive, wasn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, of course, people couldn't get the barge for whatever reason. They didn't open it up to Europe. They opened, obviously, Razor Crest up to Europe and the rest of the world, and it sold just shy of 28,000.
Yeah, some people got 3, Mike. Yeah,
I know, but the point being, Nick, is it doesn't matter. It was well backed. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's there. People want these HasLab projects in 3.75.
Yeah,
it's not tended to work what they've put out on the 6-inch scale, just because of the nature of the army building side. I don't know, I'm going off a little bit off tangent here, guys. Sorry, I apologise for that.
It is amazing how underbacked those 6-inch projects. I'm not opening up for bashing the 6-inch line here, but I still can't get over the fact that they didn't even they they couldn't hit. Was it 5,000 or 10,000 for the Rancor? Now I can't remember.
Yeah, but Nick, you've got to put it into perspective in terms of like scaling. 3.75-inch line obviously is theoretically the army building line, and it is. And yes, we've got some massive vehicles in that line, and my thoughts on things like the Falcon and all that, and blah blah blah. I'm not going to go into that. People have ever watched your streams will know that. BOE, know how I don't like all of those. Listen, the soundboards and all that and those sort of things. I don't think that's necessary. But if you're going to put something in a 6-inch scale, if you're going to do something like a Rancor and then you want to build something around it, it becomes enormous. If you were trying to do a Rancor pit, it would just be,
huge.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really has to, unless you've won the lottery, nobody has the room to put that sort of stuff about. They had that 6-inch TIE fighter. And again, I'm not being bashing the line in any way, shape, or form. I think the 6-inch line, the figures are great, but it doesn't lend itself to that world building.
Yeah.
If you like.
What I'm nervous about, Mike, is I was kind of hoping that in that stream, although I did like that helmet, I'm worried that we'll probably see very little now for the 40th, because the year started. We did see some Return of the Jedi before the year. The bunker and the ATST, but give or take.
Yeah, but again, it's like that was the thing. It was some of them were lazy. No, I wouldn't say lazy. Really. That's not fair, because at the end of the day, listen, as a collector, you can pick and choose what you want to buy. Okay, so nobody's forcing you to buy these things. All right. But the ATST is just probably simply a little bit of weathering.
I'm looking forward to that. Fix those legs and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably just going to be essentially a repack from the Black Series one line of the 3.75 that they did.
Oh, it will. But they're going to add a little bit of
a little bit of weathering.
Well, I got it completely wrong about that bunker. I thought that was a repack. That is bigger, much bigger.
It is bigger again, but listen, that's great. That is a great shelf display piece. Nobody's got, you choose what you want to buy, don't you? There's no problem with that. But
things like an Ewok village, and then I'm thinking that I was advocating going. I was talking a lot about the shuttle Tidarium, and I thought that would have been just a master.
It would be fantastic, but that would have to be a HasLab project, wasn't it? It would have to be a HasLab project. There's no way that you're going to get that in the scaling that you want unless they're going to do that in a HasLab project.
I mean, are they going to bring? Sorry, Ian.
Not going to bat in shops, are you? That size.
Nah.
Well,
do you think are they going to do it? I'd love them to do that still. I mean, maybe around the celebration there'll be a big announcement. But people were saying that it had to come out this year, a Tidarium. But it doesn't have to. They could just announce it this year, and then maybe it could come out, or something from Return of the Jedi, like an Ewok village.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll all get excited for 2024. You know what I mean?
You would think that they. You would think that there must be some sort of not necessarily future announcement. That you'd think that there would probably be some sort of announcement around celebration, especially with it being in Europe. But who knows? I mean, the other thing with regards to like some of those reveals, for example, I know you were really excited about the N1 on the Naboo fighter or whatever. Is that just going to be a complete repack of what we've had, sprayed slightly differently with a?
No, they'll tart that up.
Yeah, but is it going to be the same scale, Nick, as what you've already got? In which case,
well, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? Really? Well, I don't know. They could make it bigger, and potentially should maybe.
Well, it should, because it's not. I know you can't get every vehicle to scale. I get that. You're not going to get a Millennium Falcon to scale. We get that, but something like that. And obviously the Razor Crest, as you already pointed out, yeah, it's great. It's a massive vehicle. And of course, that was a HasLab project. I'm not saying that. The point I'm making, it was a really big vehicle and decent size, but obviously could have been fractionally bigger and it would have been just perfect. But with that N1 Naboo Starfighter or whatever, are they literally just going to do a little repaint of the one that you've got, for example? In which case, again, that would be like, I don't know. There were some of those reveals that just didn't sit with me in terms of, like, it just yeah, and I collect everything on that scale, Nick. And it was just like, do you know what? I'm not sure. You know, if you've got the one that you've got, for example, you can just put a bit of plastic primer paint on it, spray it up silver, and away you go. And what are the costs of these things going to be? Because obviously there were no images of that revealed, for example. So,
Question for you there, Ian.
Sorry,
Okay. look,
I
look
can
at
tell
the
you a
screen.
life-size Ewok.
Oh,
A life-size
Off the
Ewok.
But
Is that, yeah.
yeah, life-size
disembodied
Ewok.
head.
Yeah. You see that comment there from Des T? Yep.
Oh, that.
Well, it looks like the bride of.
Is that Buffy?
That's a 3 foot tall spike statue.
Oh, cool.
Sort of statue. Yeah.
Looks like a veil. It looks really spooky, like that.
Keep the dust
Bride
off.
on
that's-
there.
I've left the bag on it. The polythene bag. I've left it on there.
I've forgotten her name now. That ghost on the Haunted Mansion who sings the "Hurry back, hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate." Anyway, yeah. So 40th anniversary. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully we'll get. I don't know, the Ewok Village. I'd love that. Like a nice piece.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
That'd be
Yeah.
brilliant, wouldn't it? It'd be lovely that. I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. If they're bringing out the bunker and the ATST, it would all add to that, wouldn't it? It'd be great. But and then we've got the Jabba's Palace is yet to come. I presume that's this year. I can't remember the title. It will be, won't it? That'll be something to look forward to. That was a good piece. That'll be really good. Do with that what you want, really. That would double up as obviously Book of Boba Fett, but definitely you can have that for your Return of the Jedi dioramas. But yeah, so the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars, you see, it's a bit naive on my part, really. Part of me would really love things like, I don't know, a reissue of the Republic gunship and stuff like that, you know, in Clone Wars TVC boxing. But, you know, it's never going to happen, is it? It makes you wonder, if there was no 6-inch line, would we get things like that? Because there's less stretch of budget and stuff like that.
I think you would.
I don't know. I mean, if you go back to 2009, from say 2000.
Oh
dear.
we lost the BOE. Oh, he's back. You froze a bit then, BOE. Just rewind. No, that's okay.
No, I said if we go back to 2001 to 2009, we had loads of figures, lots of variety with the figures. They weren't stingy with sculpting. That, you know, they'd put out really great figures, like especially in the Legacy, that last Legacy collection, and they'd always put vehicles out. And you know, I mean, what Hasbro are coming up with now is just pure. They're just not willing to take the risk that you know. I think the damage was done with all the stuff that came out with the sequel movies, and so you know.
Sorry, BOE, Little Lilota. I think so. I was listening to you, BOE. Bill Pauk. I think she was called Lilota or something like that. If you can Google that, well, carry on, BOE. Sorry.
That Hasbro is not willing to put out vehicles because they must have the mold still for the Imperial shuttle, so they could just put that out again in a Jedi box, vintage collection box, add better paint apps, and it would sell, like, you know, because we haven't had Imperial shuttle since 2005.
Oh, Imperial shuttle, did you say?
Yeah.
Listen,
the Saga collection one was, I believe.
But BOE, sorry, I think if they literally just repack that, literally as it is, in a vintage box,
people will buy it.
I'm a genuine look. Personally, I'm not convinced they would, because of the scale of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong. People will buy it, of course they will, because they love the packaging.
Yeah,
and it is still a great vehicle. There's no doubt about that. But I don't. But like you said, I don't think they would. I don't think they would take that risk.
No,
because it would be. I don't know what that vehicle cost originally. I don't actually own one, unfortunately. Never have, and probably for purely for cost purposes, probably never will. But if they repack that In the scale it is now, and obviously what it goes for in the secondary market, you are probably still looking at, they would probably badge it up somewhere between 350 to 400 quid. Do you agree or not?
That seems a bit steep for that. I mean, because it's the
I
old
agree, it would steep. But what I'm saying
vintage.
is they've
vintage.
repacked that Slave One that they gave you 1 year ago that was available when it was first purchased with extra weathering for £139.
Yeah.
They just put a Boba Fett figure loose with it, and they want 209 quid and a bit of extra weathering, which, with all due respect, anybody can do a little bit of extra weathering on any type of vehicle. So I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here. I just think because of the, you got to look at the size of that vehicle compared to Slave One. It's bigger. And it would be, I can't imagine they would put that out for less than 300 quid, even if it was a complete repack of the original that we've got, which other people have, like Nick, have shown on his channel. You can put basically 2 figures in, which is just bizarre.
Yeah, Des T there, that Galaxy's Edge Falcon was more money than the Razor Crest. Would you believe that? Crazy.
It was similar
Unbelievable.
cost,
Like,
wasn't it, Nick?
it was like £400. It was like you could get it cheap from Star Action Figures. And
No, I think they were both. I think originally the Galaxy's Edge Falcon was I think when it first came out, it was probably between 350 to 380, depending on which retailer you got it at.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is right.
They sold out really quickly, and then. But then it's just amazing to think that you could get the Razor Crest for less. It was like, what was it, 360 or something like that? I can't remember. 350,
350, 360.
Yeah.
Similar,
which is amazing because that was obviously a better detailed thing. It was new and
but it's not as big a vehicle, Nick, is it? In terms of the overall size, in terms of the actual mold,
plastic.
Yeah, the amount of plastic used, exactly, Gary.
It's all about that, is it? And I suppose the electronics and getting all that to work, I suppose, must have jacked up the price, maybe. Who knows? Changing the sound, but making it a dual thing. It was like Galaxy's Edge, and it was an original trilogy. So, anyway.
But again, Nick, on the Razor Crest, you didn't need electronics. I've said it loads of times, so I'm not going to say it again. They should have just done a proper, decent Falcon. And don't get me wrong, it's brilliant, but you could have just had all the panels open. Other vintage collection vehicles that they've done recently, or whatever else, the Rogue One line and all that sort of thing. You don't need soundboards in those sort of things. It was, yes, I had the tooling and people loved it. And don't get me wrong, great for people to have the opportunity to get their Falcon, no problem whatsoever. So, there's no issue there at all in any way, shape, or form. But again, an opinion, it was, it was an opportunity missed. I know I've said that loads of times, but they've done some good stuff. But it's like, well, where do you go next on the vehicles? It'll be, as I said, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this N1 Starfighter, because I don't know whether I'd love to hear your guys, or even everybody in the chat, what price point you think, because you can imagine pre-Mandalorian. I don't know, you had this, Nick, when you picked up your Naboo Starfighter. God knows, what did you get it for? 30 quid or something? What's this repacked silver one going to cost? It's just, I know I'm playing.
I can't wait to see that, though. I think it's going to be awesome. That, I mean, I'd be happy if it was the same size as that other one, because that's better anyway, with the sliding canopy. I don't know, man. Bring it on. That'd be awesome.
But the thing with me, over the past 30 years of buying modern Star Wars or whatever, since 95, has always, if I ever bought a box ship, I've got a few, not many, is buying them when they're a third of the retail price, once they go on. That's always been my, when, like, I've got from Argos, the Republic gunship in the Clone Wars packaging with the shark's teeth, that goes for a huge amount. I got it for about 12 quid at Argos,
Oh, did you?
So that was always when I would buy stuff. It's like when it was really
because of the
heavily discounted, because that's how you put together a big Star Wars collection, is by buying it when it's.
Of course it is, but do you think that's still available. Okay, so do you think that would still be available now? What I mean, I don't mean obviously that vehicle you bought, but what I mean is like and I don't want this to sound really bonkers because it's not meant to be. The pandemic obviously sort of, there was loads of collecting going on during that, wasn't there? Where people joined different things and loads of people got more involved and everything else, just because of the time that they had on their hands.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're
online buying
because of the. I mean, listen, look, it's such a global brand, and we know that, and that's why we love it, and it is brilliant. So I don't think you're ever. I don't think you're probably ever. Again, and only an opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know that you're ever going to get to that scale again where you find a vehicle like that you would ever get on any sort of type of discount, because they're just not going to. It's just not going to be available.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe on Amazon they do still do. There's a certain time to buy stuff when they've got a special promotion. You might get 20 pounds or $30 off something, and that's the time to pounce and buy something. But if you want something straight away, if you're like a YouTuber, you want the stuff straight away. Whereas if you're if you're a collector and can be patient, you'll just wait till it discounts. Because I mean, back in the day with Toys R Us, I'd always pop into Toys R Us just to see when they've got the sale on, and then I'd go grab stuff. That's what I've been doing recently with Star Action figures. They've been reducing the price of Vintage Collection Black Series, so that's why I've been buying so much of late. Is because it's all half price, or a third, 2/3 off. So that's the time. I mean, that's the time to buy.
Yeah, of course. But it's interesting with obviously but you've had a lot of these retailers have sales on certain types of lines or certain types of figures. And don't get me wrong, some of it's been brilliant. I mean, I know don't get me wrong, with all due respect, I have a very fledgling channel and I crap on about army building miles too much. I get that. But there's been some great offers, like you said, on army building stuff. But then if you actually listen to those retailers, and I mean, obviously, like Star Action figures are very progressive in terms of the things that they say online and on the community, and let them know about things that are going on.
Yeah,
they're talking about, look, I suppose it's everything to do with pricing now, BOE, and it is. At the end of the day, look, we're in the middle of a massive recession, which is crippling everybody, with all due respect, and the pricing that what they appear to be putting out of a lot of repacks of things, like certainly on the Black Series lines, I would probably say more than anything. I'm not a massive Black Series collector by any way, shape, or form, so I can't put a really informed decision on this. You'd need to get Shabby on, or somebody like that, who really collects that sort of thing, that would tell me more. But they sort of see, like, this line is almost getting not priced out of, but it's getting to that point where it's becoming so expensive that if you're charging for a deluxe figure, if you want to class it that, in the Black Series line, sort of £40+ which is outrageous. And you're right to do what you do in terms of look at like the clearance lines, but I don't think, going back to sort of like a collection, and I'm only saying personally, and unfortunately from my point of view, on a 3.75 inch line, I just don't think the big okay, we don't have Toys R Us now, unfortunately, do we?
No.
That's sort of gone. I do hear rumors that's coming back, potentially, whatever. But Smiths, somebody like that, they don't really stock. They Star Wars figures. Yeah, we had the Entertainer a few years back that picked up a load of, I think it was ex-Spanish or whatever, warehouse stock of
Black Series,
the Black Series 3.75 inch line, which was fantastic, because you were able to pick up like Jawas and Rebels and all sorts of things like that, and the Hoth Troop. Yeah, really, really cheap.
£3,
And that was great, but it means that those retailers aren't necessarily going to stop that sort of thing. And I think, again, it's only a personal opinion. I just when we talk about the reveals and things that we've done, and I'm going a little off tangent here, but it was like some of them I thought were good, some of them were okay, and others you just thought like, well, actually, you're starting to price people out of the market now. And if you're an avid collector, like as I know you are, BOE, and yes, I know you love your vintage more than anything else, but all of a sudden, you're going to come to a point where you're going to go, I would like that figure. Okay, let's say it's a Black Series release or whatever it might be. And the same with Nick and the same with you, Ian. But you're going to go, I'm not sure.
Expensive.
Yeah. So, for example, a classic example, they put up those ridiculous Boba Fett figures, didn't they, recently? That sold out within like 2 seconds with different artwork.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
And,
those.
And actually, what you're now then buying that figure for example, as somebody like Nick, who is a collector that is completing his DC collection, it's like, well, actually, fuck. Sorry, I'm not going to swear. Apologies.
It was too late. You just did. Jeez.
No, I didn't. I started to F. But the point is, you're going to go.
It's on camera, Mike. We have the evidence.
I can't get those figures because they're sold out. And actually,
I'm sorry. I've got to cut you off, Mike. You've crossed the line. Mike has gone. You're time out. That's quite good. I've just muted him. Put him back on.
All I was saying is, Nick, then you're just with these figures, I'm not interested in getting them anymore because A, you can't pick them up when they're not readily available. It's mental.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I don't understand. It's crazy. It's got something to do with the UK allocation, and so I heard, but I don't know. Have no idea. But it's really annoying. Within seconds, that it's a bit like what happened when that Falcon came out. They were gone in seconds. It's like each retailer had 10, and then they were done.
Oh my gosh,
absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, for the rest of the year, though, it's like they may have given us our fill for the year. That's what I'm worried about. I was kind of hoping for more for Return of the Jedi, but we've got the Jabba thing coming out, even though that's a Book of Boba Fett thing. It does cross over. You've got the Bunker, the ATST, but I really do hope we get something else this year for, the Return of the Jedi. But we are battling with another line, the 6-inch line. So, again, right or wrong, I am on this. But if that line didn't exist, we probably would be flooded with more things, even if they were good repacks of things from yesteryear or reissues or something. Like things like the Cloud Car. That would have been lovely for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean? Done in the TVC for the first time. That Legacy Collection model would have been awesome, but
that would have absolutely sold tons, Nick.
It would, wouldn't it? It would. It is barely February. What's Nick saying here? We'll have more reveal.
Early days. Maybe April time. By April.
Yeah, of course, a Star Wars Celebration. And, let's very quickly talk about that. Obviously, we had Echo Base today. Are you going to that? Who is going to that? I am going. And
I'm going Monday.
I'm going on the Friday, I think.
I'm going Monday.
Get a ticket for.
I could only get Monday. But I can meet you after on the Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, top man. Top man. I'll tell you what was interesting again there. Now people are just going to think I'm just moaning constantly on this stream.
Moan ahead.
I was kind of hoping Ian would get a chance to talk there, but yeah, we could carry on. Right,
Ian. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go
and listen to this.
Ian has shown respect for his elders.
Ian, thanks. Ian, let me say one more thing, and then I'll mute myself. All right, so I can't swear or whatever. They did send something through.
Carry on.
They did send something through the other day though about the pricing for the autographs.
Oh man,
yeah, it is unbelievable.
What is it, mate? What is it?
It's incredibly expensive.
I think most of them were somewhere between the region of about 110 quid.
That's what I sort of expected, to be honest. I mean, I've never been to one of these, but that's what I thought. That's the going rate for huge names like whoever's going. Who is going? It's the big. Who are the biggest stars going?
I think. I don't, listen again. I might be completely
I
wrong.
think
you
we
guys.
are.
Yeah. No. I think Hayden Christensen was about 190 quid or something. I might be wrong on that one.
I think he's
Wow.
more than that. I think he's about
he charges
400.
loads, he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
but
money,
all the
that.
rest, I think, all the rest were. But I still was like, that seems an awful lot of money. I remember going to a. It doesn't matter. It was something I was caught or something not that long ago before the.
I'd love to meet Mark Hamill. I'd probably hand over.
Well, yeah,
some
but
cards.
they haven't announced anybody like. I don't know whether Mark Hamill's there. I mean, listen, for that,
I'd love to meet him.
you would. Yeah, I was just shocked. I'm not listen. I'm not. And guys, you can educate me on this. I'm not an autograph person at all. I've got absolutely nothing signed. I've got no cards signed.
Yeah,
you know, nothing.
I do want to talk about this because I've got two things. Obviously, Ian is, as I said earlier, is a big autograph guy. You've got a lot, haven't you, Ian? You're going to hopefully tell us in a minute how much you have got. But before we get to you, I just want to put it out there. What are people's thoughts on signing? Because you have said, Ian, that it is quite a controversial thing to have a vintage card signed, which you have shown a few pieces that are. So, what are people's thoughts on that? What is the vibe with that?
I regret getting my vintage Darth Vader signed.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which one have you got? Which one is it you have?
Why?
I've got a. I mean, I did meet him. I mean, this is 93, 94 at Westminster toy thing they used to have, and the guy said, Dave Prowse is there. If you go to him, he'll probably sign it for free. So he sold me a Darth Vader Return of the Jedi Palatoid, just the card you've got there, for a tenner. And I went up to Dave Prowse. I was like, please, Mr. David Prowse, can I have your autograph? And he looked down at me and he saw a tiny little mouse about to tie. He took so much pity on me. He said, yeah, what's your name? He signed my name and then he signed his name. And I asked about when he held the Rebel trooper and he was choking him, did he do it by himself or was it, and he said he did it by himself. And he was like so cool, and I said how much do I owe you? And he said, it's for free. So really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you say you regret it, is it because it's a piece
no,
impaired by the signature?
No, well, I mean, that makes it personal, but I've got this other one I bought off the same guy. It's a Chewbacca card with the Darth Vader figure, and it's also signed by Dave Prowse. So, I mean, that's probably quite a unique piece, really, and I probably only paid about 20 quid for it back in those days. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that nowadays, if you're talking about the old figures, they want them unsigned. If you're going to get something
more original,
if you want something signed, use something modern. Action Figure Grader says to use Power of the Force 2 to get signed because they're cheap carded figures and you can get a nice signature on them.
Yeah, so, but BOE, surely if you don't make it as a personal message, like obviously if he's put it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I can never sell it because it's in my name,
Exactly.
So,
what I mean is if he just signs it,
yeah.
If they just sign it, surely that's going to
and it's got a sentimental value now and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
of course. I mean, you're talking about your collection. You're never going to want to get rid of anything like that anyway. But the point
no
is if you go to like one of these conventions, you have something signed. You're not going to get it signed personally to you because that would devalue it. The point being, if down the line, heaven forbid, something happens to you or whatever, it's.
Well, I always get it signed to me.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, Carrie Fisher signed to me.
Tell it. What was she like?
She was great. I mean, she was very chatty. She seemed a bit, maybe slightly manic at the time, but she was quite more very talkative and
probably signed.
Yeah, but I mean, it was quite cheap as well. I mean, I knew
you get the memory of that, don't you?
Yeah, only chance to get it done. Yeah, so obviously I'd get it signed to myself. So I got.
Yeah, tell us a bit about your signing history then, Ian, because you're a big signer, or you've had a lot of stuff signed and stuff. So you're the expert on this.
Yeah. well, I'm saying an expert. I just started going to shows up when I was 16, and you know, you see the actors there, and I want to meet them, you know, and then you get an autograph. And back then, they were like £5 an autograph, that sort of thing, you know, 4 or 5 quid.
A lot cheaper. Yeah,
it's gone up mad now, but I still do get them. You know, you get that experience when you meet them. It's personal, and you always remember that meeting with them. You know, and that's what makes it special. So
I was thinking about that today because I met what's his name? The guy who played Donovan in Indiana Jones and General Veers, Julian Glover.
Yeah,
at this thing in Croydon last November, and he was very talkative. You know, he wanted to know where my name came from, all that sort of stuff, and we just, you know, he was very articulate.
You could have got him cancelled. You could have got him cancelled
for
Susan Hussey or whatever. Well, let's not talk about. Let's not talk about that. Moving on. Anyway, I don't know why. So yeah. Sorry, why have I done that? Why have I stopped the flow of the conversation? I just had Ian talking. Finally, had Ian talking, and then I'm cut in and stopped everything.
Ian talking again. Yeah, I've been to so many Comic Cons, and I just love meeting them and to appreciate their work that they did for us, and you know, you've seen them on screen, you get to meet them in person. That's what I like, and I like seeing them and talking to them. And some you can chat to for a few minutes, but the bigger names you can't. It's just rushed. You know, got to be quick. You know, but you got that memory there. I've met them. You know, it's just very special. You know, and some I've met more than once. You know, it's just great. And I would pay more for a signed item than an unsigned item. That's just me. But you know, I love it. I love it. You know, it's awesome.
And do you have any regrets, Ian, on some of the vintage pieces you've had signed?
No, I don't. I still would pay more for a signed one. That's just me. I know a lot of people don't like that. They like it original, you know, untouched, as it were, and they can grade it as well, which I understand. Personally, I wouldn't do grading because you've got to send it off to whoever it is that does it, AFA or whoever, and you've got that risk there as well. But people have had got them returned and all been good, so that's up to them. And I love seeing graded items, it's brilliant. But for me, I just love it. I don't regret it at all. You know, and I still go to shows, still meet them, still get the autographs, and I just love it. Brilliant. You know? And you get the photo. I get some photo shoots as well, and I see them on my wall every day, and it makes me happy. You know,
cool.
Yeah, it's great, man.
The memories there, so it's great. You know?
Yeah,
no, that's great. All the signature things, fantastic. I was just thinking more about, say, one could argue like you're defacing or whatever a vintage item, but then, you know, when we went to Echo last, everyone was getting their yak faces signed, but the modern TVC yak face, like, you know, not an established piece of, you know, a valued piece or whatever, but it'd be interesting to find a person who've got, like, say, I don't know, a Luke Skywalker or whatever signed back in 80 something or other, when they were just whatever p of just £1 or something. I don't know, as opposed to when they were hundreds of thousands of pounds or whatever, but still hundreds or thousands, sorry, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but it is frowned upon, though, isn't it? Right, as you say.
I mean, but it's like your collection, so you can do what you want. So I mean, I like signed photographs, signed trade. I find signed trading cards the cheapest way to get an autograph, really. So
some people buy them, they know they're never going to sell it, so it's a very personal thing. Like you say, it made you happy, so I can totally understand.
Yeah. It's not for everyone. Like a lot of people just collect the toys, the action figures, and that's it, you know. But you can just collect all sorts of things, and some people just want the autographs, you know. There's different ways of collecting. You do what you want to do, you know. But
exactly, and that's the thing, Ian. It's what works for you, isn't it? You know, any collection.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, it's personal to you. It's as simple as that.
The only problem, the only downside, it's cost me so much money, over the years.
Yeah,
But it's passion,
Yeah.
That's the thing you think of. It's like, oh, that's cost me so much money to do all this, but it's passion, and it makes me happy. So that's for happiness. It's priceless, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
Do what makes you happy.
And you get excited when, even though, like we've just said, you still get excited when you're about to splash some more cash on something you want. So
it's a bit of a buzz, isn't it? Yeah. A big splash. It's got You have to really think about it. Like the few times I bought stuff from BOE, I've been texting you, what should I do? Should I do it?
Yeah.
And, you need that little someone to hold your hand through it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Take that leap.
Yeah.
But with regards to autographs here, we have discussed that Sarah Michelle Gellar is obviously still not in your collection. Is that the one that you would like to? Is it going to happen?
I do have her autograph. I have multiple autographs of her, but I've never met her.
You haven't met her.
She doesn't really do cons. Yeah,
right.
But I do have her autograph.
I did ask you a while ago because we've been chatting on Messenger, and I remember you saying part of you was like, "I'm not sure if I want to." In case you don't get on or something.
That's it. If you meet, there's a possibility if you meet your favorite celebrity, and afterwards you think, she might have an off day, or you say, oh, I'm really down by that. It would really hit you hard, and you might think, do I want to watch? It might put you off watching Buffy again, or Star Wars, or whoever it is, So there is that. But if I had the opportunity, I would do it. Personally, I would. But you think that? Do I want to? Do you not? So there is that.
It's a little bit off topic in a way. But it's like what Liam Gallagher said. Somebody said, "What would you do if you ever met John Lennon? What would you say to him?" He said, "Nothing. Got nothing to say to him. It's about his music." Whatever. Well, I wouldn't say.
Some people do that. Some people do that. Though. Get your autograph. That's it. Gone.
Yeah.
I like to chat with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never really done it. Like when we went to Echo, they had loads of people on the outside. They had like Mon Mothma was there, the lady who played Mon Mothma, and they had the guy who played, the guy who played General Needer or Captain Needer, sorry. And this was the very first Echo base I ever went to. And that's the first time I saw any celebrities from Star Wars of that level. Yeah. And when I walked past them, I felt like I couldn't make eye contact. I did look at them and I waved, but I felt like I couldn't talk to them because I had to pay them. But it shouldn't be like that. I mean, it's more like you'd have to pay them if you're getting something signed or whatever. But they were literally sat on their own and they were doing nothing. So I felt rude almost. I was like, hi, or I wanted them to know that I knew who they were because I damn well did. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I just walked on by. It was such a shame because I would have said something like, but I don't know. The point is, obviously, there's a lot of pressure with the fact that, do they want to be spoken to or do they want to not? Do they want to be left alone or do they want people who are paying?
You can go up to them and talk to them, but if there's a massive queue and you're just going to go up to talk to them, that's it. I personally probably wouldn't bother. But if they're just there, sat there, and there's no queue, just go up and talk to them. Yeah,
I should have done it then.
Yeah.
They had someone with them, like a minder, or someone was just sat with them, but there was literally nobody around, no queue, and it
can be quite nerving as well to do that. It can be quite nerving to go up to them. It can be.
But yeah, it was just Mon Mothma, man. She looks so different from how she was in.
Oh, she's lovely. She's lovely. I could talk to her all day. She's lovely.
Yeah, missed the boat there. And they had the guy who played Tessic was there as well. Tessic, although he might have been played by multiple people.
Mike Holmes, is it?
Yeah, this
was like that. Yeah, I'll bet him. Yeah, he's nice.
2019, sorry, May 4th it was as well. Yeah,
Gerald Holmes, that's it. Yeah, he's nice. He is. Met him.
But we have been. Yeah. Who's the most famous one you've met, Ian? Very quickly.
Out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, anyone. Dave Prowse.
Right. Yeah. Jeremy Bulloch, have you met him?
Yeah, He was
Jean-Claude,
always
yeah,
around.
things like that.
You'd see him every time you went to London Comic Con or,
Wow.
for 30 years back. He was always around.
What
So
a
you can al-
legend.
Yeah, he was
Billy
always
D.
there.
Williams.
Billy D, yeah.
Wow.
I've met
Carrie Fisher.
Catherine Tate, Billy Piper, David Tennant. I've met them. They're Doctor Who, but I've met them.
Anthony Daniels.
No,
C3PO.
not met them.
I've got him.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Anyway, I think quite conscious we've gone over 2 hours there, which is great. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
on a roll
Oh,
now.
definitely.
We're just sort of hanging out now, and I'd hate to bring these things to a close, really, but I suppose we must. But
We didn't
Thank
really
you,
talk about
everybody.
Phantom Menace, did we?
oh no,
Oh.
actually, very quick. Let's do that very
Let's
quickly.
do that then.
Very quickly.
Phantom Menace.
Well,
I want to show you a couple of things that got delivered to me this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video on this. A really amazing guy who is a Patreon, and he sent me a package, and it was the following items. Let me go full screen here.
Yeah.
The guy is a bloody mind reader, because I was about to buy some of these things. This is something he sent.
Oh, wow.
It's
I
just
like
awesome.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are
Open
cool.
that up. Yeah, that's the
That's
single.
cool.
Yeah, it says expanded
It's
universe.
concept. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd like
brilliant.
to look into that.
That's
And
brilliant.
then, do you know what, BOE? I was on eBay yesterday, and I
Yeah.
was eyeing up my next move for Phantom Menace, because I've been buying a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. And I was just eyeing up the price of a Kado, and thankfully I didn't see anything that floated my boat price wise. But he sent me this, which is what
Oh,
I was going to
wow.
get next. It's got the big light.
Oh, amazing. That's brilliant.
Kado,
Nice.
man.
I've
I
got
do,
that.
yeah. Jar Jar Binks.
I know.
That's amazing.
I'm so happy to receive that. That's amazing. So yeah.
Very nice.
And what
I
else?
don't think I have that one.
And the other one, this is fascinating. I can't wait to open it and then figure out how I'm going to display it. But this
Oh, the OPC
Oh,
monster.
I've got that as well.
Yes.
Brilliant.
That's good. I
the
got that
shrimp.
one.
And I want to look into I don't think there's a deleted scene of Liam Neeson swimming with this thing. I think that's just a little bit creative license, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe just to make the toy a bit more interesting. But
Just more, it's more playable, isn't it, for kids?
yeah, with Liam
More
Neeson with
playable.
his harpoon or whatever. But yeah, they said the design of that had like had a lobster tail and a fish head, sort of
Yeah.
fish body, and the teeth of like a bloody monster of some
It's a
kind.
great design.
Fantastic.
It's always a bigger fish. And then the final thing, which was pretty awesome, was I don't know if he's watching Lax Sivrak, but I finally got my hands on. I mean, this is all stuff I
Lack.
need. As
Oh
well.
my gosh.
Oh,
that's
lovely.
expensive. He's pricey these days.
Is he really?
Really?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. The Wolfman.
Well, I'll have to be careful before I
This is
open that.
a
Then maybe.
deleted scene. Yeah, he's a cool figure.
I was going to open it. Well,
No,
I've
I
got,
mean,
I've got
open
that
him.
one open.
there's a couple
he's a
of these.
werewolf.
I've always wanted that as well, which is awesome. So he's obviously been watching my channel and taking it all in. What I need, and then finally this thing here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That is
awesome.
beautiful.
Oh, wow.
That box
That's
is beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah. That's
That
the
is
last thing I
beautiful.
opened as well. When I was opening, there was 2 packages, and then this
The
was the last thing.
Ubrikian Speeder. I love the name.
What's it?
Ubrikian.
Ubrikian 9000.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Ubrikian. Yeah.
Who
brilliant.
sent you, Nick? Who sent you that one? Who sent you that?
I can't say. I'm not going to tell you. Oh, so I've already
Have
said
you-
it.
have you opened that yet?
You're not listening.
Have you opened that one yet?
I know I've not opened any of that. I mean, I did the video earlier, Mike. Hey, let me just. I'm gonna get a big screen here. I did the video, and I really wanted to open it, but I
Yeah.
stopped myself. I'm going to save that for a separate video.
Well,
that.
again,
Yeah.
that's something. Again, like why
Fan
have
made. Beautiful.
Yeah, yes.
Stan Solo.
I have. Yeah, sorry, I've seen it, Barry, but I was like,
Yeah.
again, why are we having to get the fans to do that sort of thing?
Yeah, Mike. I know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is, isn't it?
You know,
mean-
It's great.
There'll be a point when we probably won't even need Hasbro anymore. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
There's something nice about getting the genuine article, obviously, from them, because they are the remnant of the original
No, of
supplier
course,
of it
but,
all.
you
But
know, you look
customs are so good now.
Look at that. I mean, Nick, I've seen reviews of that, and I've seen other videos of that.
Yeah,
Because obviously it sits outside the cantina, doesn't it? And
yeah.
um,
There's a Greedo as well. Let me just get it.
It's-
Carry on, Mike.
it's-
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's fantastic. The reviews I've seen that people have done of that are
beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful pills.
Oh, fantastic! And look at the artwork on it as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Not just the artwork on the packaging. The packaging's fantastic, but
it's great.
That is so cool. That is so
Yeah,
cool.
it's lovely, isn't it?
I'm glad that's made.
I think you've seen it from all angles now.
Yeah.
It's just funny having Greedo inside it, man. I didn't know the history of the ship and who it belonged to, but because you can't trust the can of box in a way because Akbar and whoever's been in B-wings and stuff, haven't they? But anyway, BOE, we caught you there. It's getting late for the BOE. We're gonna have to stop this. But anyway, anyone, what we talk about the Phantom Menace? Yeah, so you're a big fan of that, and you've got a huge collection of Phantom Menace. But yeah, as you know, I've been going through a bit of a spree myself. But yeah,
I got quite a lot. I got about 2/3 of the figures definitely carded.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've got them all.
So affordable, except for the fan bar. That's the thing that I wouldn't mind getting a fan bar. And keep your eyes out for that. Have you got a fan bar?
And they're all Starship.
No, the only one I got is Sebulba's Pod Racer. That's it.
Right.
I mainly cut figures only, and a few of the little like that OPC creature.
Yeah.
Not much to vehicles so much, but definitely the figures. I think the most expensive vintage, episode 1 figures, the Darth Maul with the black vest. That's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Bibble.
That's what I know about one.
I'm glad I got my CO Bibble. That was under £20, man. So that was quite a good price for him.
There's a couple of others, the Jar Jar swimming and the Padme with a
got that
gun. She's expensive.
He's gone down in price though, hasn't he? Jar Jar swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny though, BOE, with that one, because Nick said to me weeks ago, I can't remember, we were talking about that Sio Bibble figure, and I opened obviously all my figures sort of thing, and I think I picked him up I say not that long ago, probably I don't know, pre-pandemic, whatever. I think I got it for about fucking £3, minting on card.
£3, that's a great price. Yeah.
Was that another F-bomb there, Mike?
Sorry, it probably was. Yeah, sorry, apologies.
But how many cans of Fosters?
But you see, Shabby had an excuse. Shabby didn't think we were live. I don't know if Shabby's still watching or not, but he didn't.
No, listen, guys.
We are still live, Mike. We're still live.
I didn't realise until like Nick had said, "Oh, that figure's so difficult to get hold of," and I was like, "What?"
But I missed out on a CO Bibble for £7 though. About a month ago. I couldn't believe that. I was watching it and just forgot to bid. Oh yeah, God! And it was mint. It was fine. But the one I opened just now was in really good condition as well. So that was terrible.
It goes back though, Nick, to what you end up collecting. I mean, and BO, you've obviously done exactly the same. I know you do more on the really your vintage collection line, but you go through little stages of thinking, like Nick, I know we've spoken this loads of times where you've gone through this sort of cycle now where you're picking up things around like Naboo and all that sort of thing where you're picking up different bits. And so you go through little different focuses, and depending on what time you're looking at those, obviously the figures vary massively in price, don't you? I mean, I remember I'm going back a long time ago, but I remember when the Black Series 3.75 Ewoks were difficult to get hold of, BOE, before they got shipped into every entertainer. You couldn't find them for less than say £25 on eBay, for example.
Yeah.
And then they all came into entertainer at £3.75 or whatever it was. So it depends on what you're focusing on at the time, how you can sometimes pick up things. Nick, you've done stuff in the past where when you go back to Attack of the Clones, where you picked up the what were the three the three creatures at the end of the film?
Reek, Nexu, and
Nexu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
we just got it in a different order.
It's just if you were to search around for that and you ask people Has anyone got one? Da da da. Nick, you've got probably yours at a steal. You know, you look around and there's just none available. And when you go on eBay, people want 150 quid for it. It's just like it's bonkers. So it depends what you're collecting and what at different times, doesn't it? As well as to how things can go up and down. You know, so
I mean, we all go through phases, and whatever floats your boat at the time. Sometimes I'm into trading cards, sometimes I'm into comics, sometimes I'm into Star Wars, sometimes I'm into something else like Battlestar Galactica or old school Mego Star Trek. It's whatever. Obviously, if you've got the dosh to splash, it's whatever takes your fancy. I mean, obviously this year we're getting new Indiana Jones figures. So
have you gone for those, BOE?
Yeah, they look good.
Not yet.
They look good, and I'd love them, but I just like
they've all sold out as well, man. They can't get the indie, the first indie.
Yeah, a lot of them sold out really quickly, and I've never been into Indiana. Don't get me wrong, I love the films, but I've never had any.
Yeah, but Star Action figures will get them or whatever, so you just buy them off them.
Well, I mean, get some more in. I want the classic costumed Indiana Jones.
I mean, to have the original Indiana Jones figure from or a reproduction of that 82 figure is just on a card is just pretty sublime, if you ask me, because I've got the figure loose graded, but to have it on card, to buy the vintage, you're talking 400, 500, 600 quid, if not more. So to buy the 82 figure, so you might as well get the new reproduction or retro version for £10, 15 quid, whatever it's going to be.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just they've all sold out. I'm hoping they're going to bring out more.
They will, definitely. I mean, Star Action figures will get them, or whoever else.
Yeah, Forbidden Planet, you've probably a good chance you might walk in there. And
definitely.
I'd love to get that indie though, and some of the others look good as well. But definitely, I just want that first indie. I don't do 6-inch really, but that I've got a space for just one. Although if they haven't wanted to pull you, they pulled you in, haven't they, by getting all the set?
It's the retro figures I want. It's the retro figures I want. The 3.75 retro figures done like in the Kenner style.
I can't believe I missed the launch day of them. I saw I knew they were coming out, but the day they dropped, I was doing something else. Obviously, I would have at least made an effort to get that indie. The 3 3/4 inch, the retro one. Yeah. I haven't even got that.
That is a great figure. To get the original, you're talking a huge amount of money, so you might as well get this. This will do.
I thought, it's such a shame. Oh well, I'll see if I can get it, and then they'll bring out others in that line as well. They're not going to do any more fully articulated ones for 3 3/4 inch. It'll just be retro, and then the 6-inch stuff. But it does look really good. Like the Tot, whatever his name is, that head swapping thing. The accessories are great, aren't they? The head swapping stuff. And really good detail on those 6-inch figures, man. It's great. Yeah. Anyway, should we call it a night, fellas?
Yeah.
Should we just very quickly go around the horn or whatever and say goodbye, and maybe we can say where we can find each other or whatever, where people can find you. So I was I'm losing the plot. I was getting tired. So firstly, Ian, where are you? What platforms are you on, and how can we find you? There's a link in the description, by the way. Sorry for these people's channels. If you
Buffy's Cave on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. I am on Facebook, but I don't really go on there much now. But I do have a Facebook group. If you're interested,
but, I was trying to find you on Facebook, Ian. I thought you were, but I couldn't find you. I was trying to tag you in on Facebook, but nothing came.
I'm on Facebook. I don't really use it much, really. I'm not on there a lot. So
maybe if it's
Buffy's Cave on YouTube be best. Yeah, Buffy's Cave on YouTube be best.
And then, of course, Solo Shot First. Mike, I wanted to ask you, Mike, are you not on Instagram? You should maybe get on Instagram.
No, I've sort of
get on there, man.
No, I'm on obviously YouTube, but I haven't done anything for the past month. Actually, I've just been so busy with work, really genuinely busy with work, and I couldn't. I am on I say I'm on Instagram. it doesn't work with my solo shot first. I've had to do a different profile. So yeah, I mean, I've not been active on YouTube for a month or so, and I'm probably not going to be for the next month because I've just been so busy with work, which is a shame because I love doing it. It's a relatively new channel. I haven't been on I haven't been doing it for. I've been doing it for less than a year, and everything's just stalled. So there you go.
You've had some videos recently, though, mate. I saw your
A couple of weeks ago, Nick, but they were pre-recorded, and that was it. And then I've not been. I genuinely haven't touched anything for literally a month. Just I've had no time. So
yeah, you did that Gungan Priest, didn't you? The one around about the time I opened it. Kind of that's funny.
Yeah, it was weird that was, but yeah, in terms of the timing of it. But
yeah.
And the channel's sort of quite fledgling. I don't really know where I'm going with it. It's all very well to do reviews, but you want to do these sort of things. You want to chat with people. You want to understand what people in the community want to not just see, but like talk about, isn't it? These are the best streams when you do these sort of things, when you actually get the chance to speak to people, and then obviously get people in the chat saying, what they want, what they like, what they don't want. It's talking about what figure reviews are all good and well, and they are great. I mean, BOE does it best. To be fair, BOE, when you showcase your vintage stuff.
Oh, thank you.
No, it is. It's fantastic. It really is. You know what I mean? But
well, just speaking of good reviews, this guy here, Babbling Booby, I hope you're going to come back soon to YouTube. I can't remember when you last uploaded, but still, funnily enough, Booby, I saw a lot of your videos recently because I've been reviewing some vehicles and stuff. And if you type it in, when you're expecting an item to come in the post, you always have a look and see who's got it. And 9 times out of 10, either Babbling Booby has a review of it or Erin Toy Shelf Review will. So I watched your video recently, Booby, of the Fulham-Passet or Fulham-Passet, because I reviewed that myself recently and I bought that. And your review of that's really good. And there was something else as well you reviewed that I opened recently. I can't think now. I think it was did you review the what's that? ATTE maybe. I think you had that as well. I think you've got a video of that. Anyway, if you're watching, Booby, good work. But still, as a shout out for Babbling Booby. And finally, the Blacked Out Ewoks. You're on all platforms, aren't you, man? Except for Facebook, maybe.
Well, yeah, not really on Facebook. Instagram, yes. I was hacked, but I got it back finally.
I'm glad you got that sorted.
It took me more than 3 weeks to get it back, but just before Christmas.
Glad you got it back. Yeah.
Just before Christmas, I got it back. It was an absolute nightmare. So
yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Yeah. It's just you got to just wait. You got to be really patient and keep on at them to get you back on, and eventually they'll do it. But
the problem was that they kept giving you a code. It kept going to the phone of the hacker, right?
Yeah, it kept going to the phone of the hacker, so I could never get back on myself. So it's crazy. Until I messaged them and said, when you send the message to me, it goes to the hacker. It's just crazy. So
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh well, and also thank you very much for watching as well. There's loads of people still here watching.
Yeah.
56 now. It's dropped down.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's been a long live stream of 2.5 hours.
I know.
Yeah, it's gone fast. It's gone fast.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. Yeah,
hanging out, don't you? Really, but but we'll have to draw it to a close. But thank you, all the people still watching.
Yeah.
Some people have been right from the beginning. They've been with us the whole time, so that's awesome. And that is all that I can say. Really, thank you for watching. And thank you to Buffy's Cave, Blacked Out Ewoks.
Thank you very much.
This has been only one Kenobi. Only one.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Out. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Goodbye. Oh, hang on. I was about to leave the studio as opposed to end the podcast. I've got the right button now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
We're still live.